tell me the computer's gonna be dumb this evening, because that would suck a lot. Alright, Steam's starting in a little bit, so let's do that thing that we always do. And by always, I mean I haven't done it in a week, so for some reason I'm like really nervous, and it's kind of dumb. 6 reasons you keep making decisions that work against you. I don't know, nor do I care. Let's actually turn on the alarm, because I'm gonna forget. People really keep yelling at Josh Peck for not inviting somebody to his own wedding. Spoiler, Drake and Josh aren't really brothers. It was a TV show that hasn't been on for years, mind you. Interesting. But that's not important. What is important is turning on my stream notes. No, I'm not actually I'm not actually doing warm-up, so I'm just gonna working on last week's comic, because I am a human being who has no idea how to schedule things, so let's do last week's comic. Not last week's night, because I don't work for John Oliver, as nice as that would be. Haha, that's funny. And, oh, snap, they changed their interface. Noted. And rotate that. Okay, no idea who Todd in the Showers is, but I don't care. That's adorable. Link. Oh wait, no. I want to post an image. Wait, damn it. Add from the web. Working on next week's strip. Copy that link. Hey Muma, welcome to the Skip stream. How are you doing tonight? Also, hey Bess, welcome to the Skip stream. How are you doing tonight? Enjoying the break? And we schedule for 8 p.m. Schedule and schedule for 9 p.m. Schedule. How was AwesomeCon? AwesomeCon was alright. I'm gonna wait until the stream gets, like, I start drawing, and then I'll talk about AwesomeCon, because there's a lot of thoughts in that. But yeah, it was alright. It wasn't awesome. But, I mean, like how life in moderation works, it's not necessarily always, not being awesome doesn't necessarily mean, doesn't mean it was bad. So, there is that. Alright, so Tumblr is done. And then Facebook. Alright, copy that. Working on last week's strip. Right, I keep forgetting that I'm not supposed to do that first. Yeah. No. Delete that. Facebook, why are you being derpy? I should really not check that because that's gonna cheese me off. Paste that. You know what? Just refresh the daggone page. Reload. Alright, image link first. Then Twitch link. Ah, somebody Facebooked me. Last. We strip. See post. Shit. No, I don't want to share it as a message. Gosh darn it, share. Alright, sharing one more group, and then you go grab my phone and let somebody know that I'm streaming. Nope, no, I'm not. Share in a group. Okay. Right, that's a thing. Alright, let me go get my cell phone because I was going to go tell a person that I'm streaming tonight, and then we're going to get started. Alright, everybody. Cool. Be right back. Alrighty then. Woof, woofity, woof, woof, woof. Alright, need to do a friend a favor. Actually, close that real quick. Aye. Alright. Oh, right. I should probably tell, like, the rest. Alright. So let's bring that up top. And alarm, timer, set that for half an hour. Streaming, yay, and start recording. All right, let's rock. So, what the frag? Switching from a cap and gun. Alright, let me close that out. So, what were we up to last time? Well, last time, actually, I'd sketched something out entirely different. But I really need to finish this because I haven't touched it since I... Actually, I touched it. I was actually fixing this up at AwesomeCon. What happened the weekend before that is that the file got corrupted. So all these run cycles that you guys see, I actually had to redo them because they weren't there in... I mean, the file got corrupted, so I had to basically start the animation from scratch. So I basically did that over the weekend at AwesomeCon. There's that. And then there is the rumbling and the factory falling over. And I finally figured that out. Oh man, that was not fun to figure out. I kind of wish you guys could see it. You're probably going to have to wait until Wednesday. I don't know when. But the point is, you'll see how I did it in a future video. You're just going to have to wait. Sorry, everybody. And then, of course, if you click, the factory falls over. And I blame you. All of you. Everyone watching this video right now. Oh my god. But I don't blame these blackberries because these blackberries are amazing. So we're going to get back to actually animating. So what we're going to do is go into the actual animation folder. We're going to go in and change all of these to black. So grab all that. Control A. Right. Grab all that. We're going to turn that to black. And we're going to go back out and undo that. No, we're out of Sonic music. Curses. That being said, there's Jump Up Superstar. No. That's Act 1. We just listened to Act 2. I don't want to hear Park Avenue Extended. Oh, what's the recent song? No, wait, no. Yeah, Studiopolis. Studiopolis. Let's extend that for 15 minutes. Mostly because I don't really feel like listening to much else right now. So, turn that off. Lock those. And what we're going to do is... What's this? This is a fill. Okay, that's the background fill. So what we're going to do is make another fill layer. Cloud fill. And this one unfortunately has to go frame by frame because, wait. I can just group that. Why am I doing this? Alright, so let's go into here. This is a loop. So if I don't really have to, if I don't want to, I don't have to loop it. So what we're going to do is grab everything. We're going to group that. And then what we're going to do is turn that off. Turn that down just a little bit because I can't hear myself talk. And fill this in with white. Yes. All the things. I feel like filling it in with white sounds like the name of a bad adult movie. And let's turn off the foreground. And let's turn on the background light too. And make sure everything is locked. Everything else is locked. Cool. Don't want to accidentally, erase the sky. That'd be bad. Just a lot. So, yeah. So, How was AwesomeCon? AwesomeCon was alright. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. I mean, a lot of the problem that I have is that I kind of don't know how to sell my product. It's really annoying. Like, I mean, yeah, like, there's only so many times you can say, well, you know, people, you just don't get it. And to be fair, a lot of people really don't understand how to read an animated comic. But it's not their job to understand. It's my job to communicate how, why it's cool and why they should buy it. And I think my booth display didn't really help that. But, that being said, there was a lot of coolness there. I actually made a Lego minifig that I misplaced of the Crimson Fly. It was kind of cool. Why do they call them minifigs? That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, because, like, it would be a minifig if it was a minifigurine for a Lego. But Legos are already tiny by their very nature, so they're not really, I guess they're miniature compared to everything else. But you don't really need to define them as such. They're just Lego figures. Or Lego figurines. I mean, I guess it's the ubiquity of Legos. You don't really need to define them as something that they already are. Then again, I'm listening to music about a character who calls himself Sonic the Hedgehog, so. But then again, also, the hedgehogs are not known for being fast. I mean, it's a bit of a contradiction in terms, so I guess there it works. But it's like, I don't know. It just seems very obvious. But yeah, it was fun. But, I don't know. I guess I kind of would need somebody to talk to describe it. Let's see if there's anybody you can play co-host. Why did that do that? Okay, so fill that in. Fill that in. Fill that in. Fill that in, and boop, boop, boop. Erase that. Erase that. And erase that. And I think that's the loop. Yes. Well, first we gotta finish filling that in. And then we can get to the part I really don't want to do. Which is the animation. And fill that in. So that's the loop. So, and then once it starts back up again. So then we're gonna slide that over, copy and paste it, and then boom. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's what we want. Cancel. Save as number 3. So let's lock that. There's one more thing I need to. Okay, so that doesn't loop. Great. Well, good thing we saved that as a new version. So let us go in and not do what I just did. What's up? Nope. Nope.
Wait, is that Captain Underpants on your computer right now?
Yes, it is, and I'm busy right now, kiddo, which is why you can't borrow Sebastian. And that was my niece, everybody. Who apparently knows who Captain Underpants is. that a little bit. Let's turn off one of these. So let's see what it looks like. So we want it to look like a fence. Let's see what that looks like. Probably not gonna work, but actually that actually kind of does work. That's weird. Your friend Jiggy Art just started watching. If you were to choose between grad schools for animation and which one would it be? At SCAD in Savannah or SCAD in Atlanta? I would pick SCAD Savannah, mostly because it has a bigger campus and it has more dedicated. It's more easily dedicated to being a school than it is to just the sort of like shoot. It's kind of hard to describe. But basically, being able to be part of a full campus is a lot easier to study on than a school that's mostly just a building. So yeah, if you had to pick one for grad school, I would say go to SCAD Savannah. That being said, I wouldn't really go to grad school for animation unless you get out of well, no. It depends on why you want to go to grad school, is what I want to say. Because, like, there's not really much need to go to grad school if you're working in the creative arts. There just really isn't. Like, the only reason you'd want to go to grad school is if you want to be a teacher. And, I mean, you have to want to be a teacher, not like it's your backup because you couldn't get into the industry. Because it'll drain you fast. So yeah, that's grad school in a nutshell. I mean, I loved being at SCAD. I really did, and I met some great people, made a lot of great friends. And I don't talk to all of them a lot. I say definitely don't always talk to my teachers anymore. What if you just want to hone your skills in animation? No. You can do that on your free time. You can do that with exercises that you can find on the internet. There's a lot of independent ways that you can do that without going to grad school. You don't want to right. But no, if you want to hone your skill in animation, there's Animation Mentor, there's the 11-second club, there's the animation stuff. You don't really want to go to grad school for animation. The only reason to justify that is if you get out of undergraduate and you are so hopelessly lost in doing you just get out and you just did not get anything out of an undergraduate. There's no real reason to go to grad school just to hone your animation skills. You can do that for free on your own time without having to pay a gajillion dollars for it. Cool. Yeah, that's actually what I want. So they're running from the fence. Cool.
Absolutely.
Wow! That was weird. Hey everybody, welcome Jiggy Yard to the Skip stream. How are you doing tonight?
A little better now that my second floor doesn't feel like a sauna.
Yeah, I don't know where I came from with those puns, because like I'm just like accidentally pun happy. It was like, oh wow. I realized it after I typed that bites. I'm like, oh, that was a pun. Crap. I didn't mean to do that.
You do it so much, it's natural now.
Pretty much. So yeah, so Muma X the Troller was wondering about going to grad school. You don't want to, the creative arts, unless you're going to be a teacher, the creative arts really you don't need your higher education for a job. They don't care. They're going to, hey Drastic, welcome to the Skip stream.
Absolutely.
I forgot about the Discord thing. I was in the chat like,
Oh yeah, well everybody forgets about the chat. Plus not everybody's invited to the chat, so there is that.
Yeah.
Rhyme unintended also, as well. I swear I'm becoming the world's greatest wordsmith accidentally.
Oh my god. Yeah, I've been offline for a whole week because yeah.
Oh, same.
Yeah. Well, you had a reason. I'm just like.
No, God just decided to not like you this week.
No, he did not. If he existed, he's an asshole.
Yep. So oh, and I just realized that all my stuff is in the wrong spot.
Yeah, we'll be bombing the house tomorrow morning, right before Chris goes to work.
That sounds fun.
No.
But
and oh yeah, I had to reset the computer because like I said, the AC went up last weekend, so Chris has been trying to fix it. So we turned off the breaker for the entire house, reset the AC unit, reset everything. Still not working. It runs, but there's no cold air or no air at all.
That sounds fun. I just broke Flash.
Everything's just breaking. I think I have the gremlin in me today.
Well, mostly because like for some reason Flash CS6 did a thing wherein the Essentials workspace doesn't work anymore, and so like a moron, I decided, well, what if I tried to switch to the Essentials workspace, and it didn't like that idea.
What is that noise?
No idea, but I'm listening to the Studiopolis from Sonic Mania. So let's do small screen, switch to that.
I'm working on the wrist sticker.
Yeah, I have to get my Unova back up and running because it knocked out the other monitor. I was gonna try to do fan art tonight because we've been watching Wakfu.
Oh, nice. I love how you guys are just now getting into that, and everybody's like, you should check this out. I was like, I was on Wakfu for like before everybody.
Yeah.
Like several years ago.
I don't even know what that is.
Season 3 comes out in September.
It's a French shonen anime. I mean, it really is a French shonen anime.
But it's so good.
It
Is
is.
it on the Crunchyroll? Because I forgot to cancel mine and ended up paying for another month of it.
I don't think it is.
That's not something. It's on YouTube though. You can definitely find it on YouTube.
Meanwhile, somebody's messaging me for the things.
Yeah, and I gotta. Alright, I'm gonna have to hop off real quick because my computer's making sounds that I don't like, so I have to restart it.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I don't know if it's the fan or the graphics card, but yeah, we'll figure it out.
Again,
I'll figure it out.
what did you do?
Broke my house.
Apparently.
Alright, let's close
Alright, well,
things.
Well, we'll see you in a little bit, Jiggy.
Alright, peace.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, so Wafu is this French shonen anime, essentially. Wherein this kid finds out that he's got this heroic destiny as the last of his people, and he goes on a journey to go fulfill his destiny. I mean, I'm summarizing because I'm still getting over conitis. So, I'm not telling this as well as I could, but if you get a chance, you really should check it out. What's notable about it is that a lot of it is made in Flash. Like, good Flash. Like, you wouldn't know it unless you knew what to look for. So, yeah, definitely check it out. Alright, do I want to do these? I want to do these in their own symbol, because, no, don't do that. Come on, Flash. Work with me here. So, yeah, you really don't need to go to grad school to hone your animation skills. If anything, what you want to do is you want to go to get you want to find a studio and work for them. Because that's really how you get your, how you really build your skills.
And become famous.
Pretty much. Because there's nothing you won't learn in school that you won't learn on the job, but you'll have the added pressure of needing to be good at the job rather than the sort of school where it's like, you failed, but you tried your best. Good job, buddy. As opposed to you failed, now you're fired. And we have to redo all your work. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is that you're not paying for it. You're being paid to learn. So you don't really want to go to grad school unless there's 3 reasons to go to grad school. And hold on, let me finish typing this in. Mook, that's not how you spell Mook. Oh, I already called it Mook 01. So, shit, I didn't mean to do that. There's so 3 reasons to go to grad school. So, like, 3 reasons to go to grad school. Sorry, like, I'm, like, hyper distracted. It's kind of embarrassing. Reason 1, you got out of undergrad and you sucked at animation, or you knew for a fact that you didn't, that you didn't have the stuff. Like, you were told you didn't have the stuff. You practiced and you felt that you didn't have the stuff. What have you. You just were not ready to get out of school yet. That's reason 1, because that gives you, sort of resets the clock for a little bit, and that allows you to basically, like you say, hone your skills. Reason 2 to go to grad school is if you have a pet project that you would not have the time for if you were not in grad school, if you were not in school. Like, that's how the Crimson Fly came to be. Like, if I had to go, if I went to school, or rather, if I hadn't gone to grad school, the Crimson Fly would not exist in its current form, because I would be waking up, I'd be going to work, I'd be going home, and I just would not want to work for the rest of the evening. That's just not a thing I would want to do. Whereas in grad school, part of the point of grad school is to actually try out new things. So the Crimson Fly happened to be one of those things, right? Combining animation with illustration. I wouldn't have had the time to do that, or the incentive. And that's really what schools want you to do, is to use their facilities to try out new things that people can eventually make money off of.
And spend that money.
Pretty much. Reason 3 to go to grad school. Actually, no, those really are the 2 reasons. I used to include reason 3 as being, well, you had the money to go to grad school and you want the... Oh, no, teaching is a 3rd reason. You want to be a teacher someday? You want to teach at the college level? You have to have your master's. That's slowly changing as more industry pros are hitting the age of retirement. But generally speaking, you want to teach, you need your master's. No ifs, ands, or buts. There are a few teachers I know who don't have their master's, but they also can't teach at the master's level either, which hurts everybody involved. So yeah, that's reason number 3 for getting your master's. But the problem with all this about getting your master's is that this all precludes the fact that you need a crap ton of money for this. I think I like tripled how the amount of money I owe by going to go get my master's, and even more so by taking my time and trying to get it right, as opposed to just getting my master's and being done with as soon as possible and being done with it. So generally speaking, it's not worth it to get your master's. Most of us either can't be teachers, don't want to be teachers. And
I'm a teacher because I can't get work.
I mean, I love teaching, but I hate the busy work not the busy work, but the administrative work that goes with it. So yeah, copy layers. I wouldn't call. My sister's being weird.
Oh.
My sister's being very weird right now. I thought she was mad at my niece for a second. So, let me close that all the way. Oof. Hey there, Sparkflow. Welcome to the Skip stream. You know, Sparkflow, you can join the Discord if you want to. In fact, I think you're under the name of something Chris something, which is funny because it's another similar name thing. Because stop recording. Let's go to the break. Let's put on the break timer. And reset that, and we're on break. Cool. I really should set that to 3 minutes. But yeah, generally speaking, you don't really want to go to school to get your master's, to do stuff, because you don't need it. Everything I've ever learned, everything I'm learning now, everything and everything I probably ever will learn, I could have learned without getting my bachelor's or my master's. It just would have taken a lot longer, because there's a lot of things that are a lot easier to learn when somebody tells you what to look for than trying to figure it out on your own. So, yeah, there's a case to be made for school, but there really isn't a case to be, there really isn't a case to be made for things.
And stuff.
Meanwhile, Sparkflow writes, I'm still not altogether on board with Discord. What even is it? Discord is basically if Skype had a forum setting, rather than just being chat and video. Discord is basically forum and chat.
Pretty much.
Jiggy's bird.
Hey, welcome back, Jiggy.
What's up? Yeah, my power supply unit was just making a buzzing noise. It stopped now. And now everything's working again, so.
I just had a thought that might horrify you.
What?
What if there are bed bugs in your computer?
No. It's too hot. The temperature in there, they die.
Yeah, they die, but nothing would be able to get them out at then.
Why do you say things?
No, they wouldn't go near it. And if the other thing that bed bugs are attracted to is carbon dioxide, and you breathe out a ton of it at night, so they wouldn't be going near the computer.
I hope I'm wrong.
Logic dictates that that's not the case.
Alright.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I actually like Discord more than I like Skype.
Oh, hell yeah.
But that's also because I can get more people on Skype, on Discord than I can get on Skype.
Well, it's not even that, the quality's better.
Yeah, plus setting up a chat, a multi-chat with lots of people is way easier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, if I did a gaming stream, I would probably run that through Discord than I would through Skype. It just would not be a thing. It's just not even it's just not even a competition. So you should totally join Skype, Sparkflow. I mean, not, I just said Skype. My brain is not in it today.
Discord.
Yes, join the thing.
Join Discord.
In fact, you're on Discord. We had a conversation. You were one of the first people I talked to on Discord. So, just saying. That should be a thing you should check out. Alright, time to get back to work.
Let's go.
So, Muma X the Troller asked earlier, how was AwesomeCon?
Everybody and their mom was there. You were there. Brittany was there. Some of my friends that knew each other were there, but I didn't know they knew each other. Like, there were so many people there.
Well, yeah, and I told Muma that I was gonna put it off because I wanted to have people to bounce this off of, rather than let me see my recording. Yeah, I'm recording. Okay, cool. The timer's on too, because like I hate when those two don't go up. So I was telling Muma that I was gonna wait until there were more people so I could just kind of bounce this off of you guys rather than like sort of like try to narrate it to myself, because I'm still not like back at 100% yet. For some reason, this weekend was like super draining. Like
Really?
like the entire, not in a bad way, but in a sort of like I don't have the energy for this sort of way. Like we like every night, like I ran out of business cards day one because I didn't have enough money to buy enough ink to print out more business cards. either on my own or through a service.
Okay.
And so like Friday I was like, you know what I'll do when I get home? I'm gonna print out some more business cards, and then I'll have them for tomorrow. And then I got home and I passed the F out. So then it comes Saturday. I'm like, I don't have any business cards, but I promise, but I will get them to you tomorrow. And then I went home and I passed the F out. Because I think part of that is just like not being in a in a hotel like we did last year. Like I just commuted straight from Greenbelt, which was actually feasible. In hindsight, I mean, it's not feasible for hey, Jolt joins the script stream. Hello.
Yo.
It's like it's feasible for me because I live halfway between Baltimore and DC. But it wouldn't be feasible for you, Jolt, or not Jolt, Drastic or Jiggy, because you guys live up north of Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like and if I lived in this house by myself, I would totally offer you the use of said house. But I share it with my sister and my cousin, so not really the.
You know how that goes.
Yeah. So not really, and of course my sister and my cousin, which also wouldn't be that bad if my niece also was not a factor either.
But your cat.
Well, then again, hubby would not be able to deal with the cat either. So there's that.
That's fine.
Ha! Actually, does hubby? Oh wait, yeah, hubby does go to do conventions because he went to Austin with us last year.
Yeah, he got stuck in the garage with us last year.
Which was actually funny. What you guys should have done last year in hindsight for next year? Park at Greenbelt Metro doing the multi-day parking.
Yeah, how much is that?
Free.
Do you know offhand?
Free.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Because it would have been because you would have gone in on Friday, and Friday is usually $5, but you would have been staying Saturday and coming on Sunday when they don't charge.
Right.
So
yeah, I don't know the metro system that well down here because I don't take it, because from every time I ask about it, people are like, don't take the metro, drive if you can. I'm like, okay.
Well,
but
no,
DC's a different animal though.
Yeah, and I think with and to be fair, this happened before I had a job, so I didn't know about it either. Or I would have suggested it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely that'll be a lot more feasible next year.
But I mean, like, the problem for me is that it's still like a even getting onto the train and sitting for 45 minutes, which means I want to pass out. What the hell was a sketch? Okay, cool. And then getting in a car and driving for 45 minutes on top of that just destroyed me. I was just like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I stopped by Popeyes, ate dinner, and then went home and slept. And I did that for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
Because I just.
I was gonna say, the one thing I'm finding is, like, if you can afford it, get a hotel, get the con hotel. I know. So
by the end of
I know it could be expensive, but at the same time, like, the convenience is so worth it.
Not this time. Like I did actually, because this time instead of putting everything in those those shopping bags that I normally do, I put everything in a travel bag. Okay. And that actually was a lot simpler than putting it in those shopping bags. What I want to get is those Mac travel wagons that you have.
Oh, yeah, you can buy them at Walmart. I think they're like $60, $65. They're relatively cheap. I mean, it paid itself back in full 800 times over.
Yeah, that's the plan. But the flip to that is that I did not. I mean, I made back my table, but I lost so much money on everything else that was just like a lot of what I would want to do with it is just not a thing at all. Like, because one of my coworkers paid for my table. And Green Hill Zone Modern, cool. Boost, because I don't want the quiet one. But and and let's extend that for 30 minutes. But one of my coworkers paid for my table, or paid for the table, and I reimbursed him half, and that was like, after that I had $20 left over.
Damn.
And I put so much. It is what it is. That's actually something I wanted to go into. About my table. It's just my setup is just not a good setup. At least not for selling what I want to sell. Like it's kind of become clear to me that it's like, it's not just that people don't want to read it. It's that they don't really know. It's not even that they don't know how to read it, or that they don't want to read it. It's just they don't really know what they're buying. It's not clear. And not just in the sense of like having the demo and not understanding the demo. I mean, there's plenty of that to go around too. It's like, all you gotta do is hit the play button, and it's just like crickets. I'm like, you stupid person.
I was gonna say, we had to put a neon pink sign at my job to hit the doorbell when people come deliver stuff.
But well, you've seen my display. There are signs on the side of the thing saying "touch me." Doesn't really get more blatant than that. But
maybe. Yeah, I was gonna say bright yellow, bright pink, or bright whatever cards.
But
LED lights full of arrows pointing.
Yeah, Vegas style neon sign.
Well, the other thing is that one of the things I was watching from other people's displays was that they were there was art on display, like actual art on display, whereas mine is just like it's the covers. Like, which is great if you're already familiar with the series, but not really if you don't have no idea who the heck I am.
Right.
Like anybody. So like anybody who's already seen my artwork is like, yeah, your stuff is awesome, but that still relies on you knowing who I am first. So so one of the things I want to start doing is I want to start putting out like making character prints like that are actual posters. Unfortunately, it's
That's what I just see.
I didn't catch that at all. I'm sorry, drastic.
You good?
But yeah, so like character posters with some lyrics from some of my favorite music. Like I have one where like I want to have the Crimson Fly like fighting this mountain of people, Daredevil style, and the lyric is basically from Stress by Jim's Big Ego. It's like everybody's out to get me, but I feel everybody's out to get me, but I feel all right. And that'll be one. And then one from what's the name of the song? Oh, from Hamilton, where the bad guy from issue 5, and rather from volume 2, because he's really the overarching bad guy. The thing is like, you've kept me from the room where it happens for the last time, from Hamilton. And just have those as character posters.
Oh wow.
So that way there's some art to showcase, hey, this is what I do, and all that jazz, without having to go all out of my way to do a whole bunch of like SkipperWing draws with this thing stuff where it's entirely original. Because I mean I can do that, but I'm just not in that headspace right now. Like fan art's where it's at. So that was one thing. The other thing with that was like it was kind of cool that I sold out of issue 1s. But
nice.
Yeah, and I sold half of my issue 2s. Meanwhile, Sparkflow writes, your screen name sounds like you're a villain from Mega Man X, and that's why I like it.
What now?
So Jolt Jaguar on the chat sounds like a Mega Man villain, because it kind of does.
Why?
So yeah, I mean, once you think about it, now you can't unthink about it. Which means that Jolt, you need to draw this Robot Master. I mean, not Robot Master. What do they call them?
Maverick Boss.
Or no, the Irregulars or the Mavericks. Yeah, Irregular in Japanese, Mavericks in English. So that was so yeah, so and then cool. Okay, so that used to...
Crimson Fly.
Yeah. So that was fun. Then what else was there from Awesome Con? Yeah, so I sold out of issue 1s. Sold half of my issue 2s. Sold half of my flash drives, but the volumes and the issue 5s did not move at all. And part of that, and again, a lot of that has to do with like I was relying on, for some reason, people wanting to try out the newest, latest thing when they were unaware that there was a thing to try out.
Right.
So it's like, when I go to be more into comics, there's one or two people who already been, or like when you guys pop by my table and it's like, hey, yeah, I already have the all the other stuff. What can I get? Can I try out the new stuff? And I kind of forgot that like there's a lot of people, there's like a million people, more people who have not tried the old stuff and would need a refresher. So I think for like the first few years of convention, it's probably just going to be issue 1s and volume 1s. There's
right.
like if you want the new stuff, then you got to go to the Gumroad store, which I also need to set up a system for that because shipping, that does not sound fun.
So
but
let me know.
Yeah, I mean it's because I feel feeling that for a while it's going to be individual orders rather than like a system where I'm like, okay, well I'm printing out this many because they're going to all go out, etc., etc., etc. It's just going to be like one individual, 2 individuals, 3 individuals maybe, where like I like this, I'm going to get the rest of them and I'm going to buy the print ones.
Right.
Which actually leads into another problem. I think there's a little bit of brand confusion.
Ah. Okay.
Because I think there's people who are like, oh man, this is really cool. Wait, what do I do with this? How do I buy it? And it's like, you buy the USB and you plug it into your computer. And then, okay, then what are the print comics for? Well, in case you don't want the USBs. Well, if you're selling, which one is the one that you really want to sell? The USBs. Well, I don't have money for that. Okay, well then buy the print ones. But that's not the main thing. I feel like I'm missing out. So I think I don't know. I don't really know how to fix that problem.
You say that to the convention?
Nobody says half the things I speculate about them at the convention. I mean, that's just kind of, it is what it is sort of feels. Hold up 2 seconds, my cat wants out.
Los gatos.
Well, I have to let him out, otherwise he may just poop on my floor.
These cats are spiteful like that.
Well, he's not actually. Like, the few times where he's pooped somewhere he's not supposed to is because he's literally been trapped in a space where because lacking thumbs, was not able to get out. He's weirdly generous like that. Either that or his litter box is full and I forgot to empty it out. But other than that, he's very meticulous about like going where he needs to be. So I just like to not test the limits of that. I mean, I do know for a fact that he can go a full day without pooping if he needs to, but he would rather not go a full day without pooping if he can avoid it.
Right.
So, god damn it. So yeah, so I just
on the floor. The aunt's cat is like that though.
So yeah, so that's what's up with so there was that. What else was Awesome Con? I mean, there was good and there was bad. There was the other bad part of it was like I got like hit with like the sort of like predictive depressive slump, so I kind of like stopped paying attention to trying to sell stuff. And that's where one of our mutual friends came by and he's like, "Hey, what's your pitch?" And I was like, "My pitch." And it kind of I've always had a pitch going, but it was kind of reminding me of the fact that, you know, the comics, even though if we do want our art to speak for itself, because you can't control whether or not it's going to speak for itself, you still want to but like you still have to sell it. Sorry, like somebody was on chat. Somebody was on Facebook and messaged me, but like you still have to sell it. Like you can't just sit there and just let the art talk for itself. And I was kind of getting bummed out about like how, because I didn't have established IP work on my table, but like people, I was like, oh well, you're only going for Spider-Man. I'm like, yeah, but the people are also trying to. I think people forget that a lot. Is like you have to be active in selling. If the art can't speak for itself, then you have to speak for it. And so, pretty much. And so one of our mutual friends, who I will not name by name because you know how I feel about anonymity on the computer. But if you go back through my Facebook feed, you know who I'm talking about, and they know who they're talking about. Who I'm talking about if they happen to pop on the stream. And so they reminded me that you have to be active in doing that sort of stuff. So that was a good little kick in the pants there. So like good and bad about AwesomeCon, but not really enough conclusive to say that I would never go back or I would never want to go back. If the prices go up any higher than they did this year, probably.
Oh God. I said, yeah, no, they went up like what, $50 this year alone.
Yeah.
That's why I wasn't there.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared about next year, to be quite honest.
Well, and as you should be, unfortunately. But I think also one of the things I want to do is I want to buy a portable printer. I don't know, because I was at when I was buying, because I bought a new color printer for AwesomeCon, like a Canon Pixma something. I forget the name of it.
Canons are pretty good, yeah.
And the arts the art was pretty print worthy.
Mm-hmm.
The only downside is that it ate all the magenta.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sparkflow writes, "Oops, time for dinner, guys. Gotta go." All right, we'll catch you in a little bit, Sparkflow. Assuming we don't actually see you, like later. But I got this Canon Pixma 920, and it was really cool. But as I was browsing for ink the next day, because of, how that goes, I saw this portable, like it's really tiny, it's maybe a little bit smaller than my Cintiq Companion.
Oh, okay.
And I was thinking, okay, well, because I've always shied away from commissions at conventions, because I work digital. How would I get it to you within a reasonable time span? You'd have to wait for me to print it out and then mail it to you.
Right.
Whereas this kind of solves that problem. I mean, granted, they would still have to be just 8.5 by 11 prints rather than full 11 by 17 drawings and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
But it beats not having them. And of course, fully digital, because it takes me 3 hours, 3 to 5 hours. It doesn't take so long that I couldn't bang out something either really simple or something that people would just like flat colors, because my inks more or less compensate for my colors.
Right.
So that's something I could do at conventions too, and I would just print out my SkipperWing Draws a Thing stuff, have that at my table, and then be like, hey, you want something like that? Well, I can do that for you right here and now at the table. So that's something to think about for my well, I'm trying to think if I want to do that with my next paycheck or if I want to hold off on that. I think I'm going to get that with my next paycheck, and then get the cart with the paycheck after that. Because that's the other fun thing, is that the quarter's over. Which means that, well, yes and no. Yes, and that I don't have to think about school and work for the next 3 weeks, which means that I can get caught up on what I missed out for last week for starters. But because as an adjunct, I don't get paid during the break. So
I know the feels. You know I know the feels. So
I gotta be careful with what I'm doing with my money. Of course, not having to go anywhere means also less money spent. So there's that too. Yep. I can actually just do groceries and do that rather than being too tired to make food when I get home. There's that. I can also wake up when I want. And all that jazz. So, pros and cons. And I can actually work on that Patreon comic I keep putting off.
Do all the things.
Well, something that came up at AwesomeCon was, well, maybe conventions are not the way where I'm going to be making most of my money.
Right.
With the Crimson Fly, yeah, maybe I don't have access to the App Store yet. But I can at least make them available digitally and say, hey, here's where you can get them. And then just use conventions as promotion. Because I have a sneaking feeling that all the compilations I'm doing for issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6 don't really mean anything if every time I go to a convention I'm starting from scratch.
Right.
Like, I mean, yeah, maybe once I get a bigger name, I have a bigger name, then I can start selling archives. But for the time being, it's just not really. They're just taking up space. In fact, one of the things I was gonna do today before I realized I had a work meeting that just kind of like ate all of my day somehow, because commute. Was I was gonna offer up the overhead on Facebook and say, hey, if anybody wants to buy these from me, I have issue 2, I have issue 5, and if you want, like, it's like $5 plus the cost of shipping. But I forgot to make that status because I was like sitting in a work meeting. Those are fun. Mostly because we're switching over from how we used to do grading to a new platform, and so that was a meeting. Then it turned out my email didn't work, which was not fun because I need my email to reset my password so I can have access to this new system, and that was dumb. Like, because I'm probably gonna end up doing most of my figuring out, like, sometime not next week, actually, yeah, next week, because that'll be week 2 of the break. As I'm setting up grades, I'll do most of my playing with it then. But, hey, the longer I stay, the more hours I get, which reminds me I have to write a PAF form, or a pay adjustment form to my boss tomorrow. I also filled up my email list again, too. That was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I filled out 2 email sheets. At AwesomeCon. So that was cool. But I mean, of course, there were still the usual empathy issues that I always hate with convention goers. I.e., oh man, that's really cool. So you gonna buy it? I don't have. Maybe if I make the rounds again.
Right.
Like, my excuse was with all my indie friends was basically I have to make back my table before I can even think about making. Before I can think about making the rounds and buying stuff. Cause like, yeah, no, that was a big chunk of paycheck that I sort of sunk into both the new printer and getting issue 5 ready for printing. Which was not the best of ideas, but you need to do it anyway because at some point I'm going to need to get volume 2 ready to go for printing. And if I don't do that, well, then if I don't do it now, then when else am I going to do it?
Never.
Yeah. Plus, I found that I need to start promoting the Gumroad store again because there was a lot of people who were excited about the old format. So it is viable until I can get the other strips reformatted. But yeah, so that was fun. So AwesomeCon, it was fun. It wasn't the best or worst of cons either, and I'm kind of bummed that I didn't like do anything else other than sit at the table. Like my table mate, he like every 5 seconds was like basically, "Hey, I'm gonna go do a thing. You don't mind watching the table?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." But
did they make any money back?
Well, no, they did it. They made it through commissions actually. Basically, a bunch of people came by and that knew that they were gonna be there, and got commissions from my table mate.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, I mean, his bread and butter is basically, look at how awesome my artwork is. And less like buy a product of mine. Like, I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to get rid of a lot of his old fan art stuff.
Right.
Because I think we're all sort of like a lot of us are holding our breath over on the cease and desist thing.
Right.
Like, nobody's sure. Like, my logic train on this is that. Hold on, let me save that. And yes, I get it. I know it's time to stop working for a second. Stop recording. Put on the break video. Like, a lot of us are waiting with bated breath for whenever that is that cease and desist for everything comes down. And I don't know that it's gonna come down in our lifetime actually.
I mean, it depends. And also, like, the way, like, I know we have pretty much some sharp, I can't even think right now, some sharp laws in terms of copyright and stuff. But then you have, like, it's almost checkered because some companies, like, don't care. because they're like whatever, which is one extreme. But then you have Nintendo, who's like never.
We will fuck your life.
And Disney, who sends like 20 lawyers after you.
So, and of course, there's the whole cockroach factor. You're not gonna stop people from drawing fan art. You're not gonna educate them on how copyright law works, and you're never gonna stamp it all out.
Right.
Conventions are messed up how they talk about copyright as well.
You mean conventions?
Like, don't do it, but wink, wink.
Don't do it, but here's how to do it.
Well, and then there's also the whole kerfuffle of the internet.
Yeah.
Where it's like
for Marvel is at this convention, like they're not gonna be at whatever.
Well, even then, it's like they're not gonna be on Tumblr stopping you from posting your stuff because you're not famous enough for them to care about it.
Right.
So you're
You are right. It's only when you get famous, it's like, okay, you need to stop.
And the thing is that like most people are not gonna get famous. So. Yeah, but at the same time, you don't want to get caught with your pants down if you do get to the point of that.
Like, oops.
And of course, there's also the sort of like a hoity-toity moral principle of I want to be known for me and not for like how well I can interpret somebody else's stuff.
Right.
Like that actually leads into a thing I had about anecdotal information. So like I was talking with Marvel about, not talking about Marvel, I was talking to somebody at my table about the way that Marvel does their stuff. And somehow I got to the idea of like, about how audiences respond in general. And it was funny because at one point I was just like, yeah, but like, audiences don't care about where the source about the source comic. And he's like, well, I care. I'm like, yeah, that's just you. And then this consequently, also, he was like they don't. I said, like as an example, nobody knows who Todd McFarlane is. And he's like, whoa, comic fans totally know who Todd McFarlane is. I'm like, yeah, but the greater consciousness, you need to take yourself out of what you know and apply your own not apply like what you know of the greater global consciousness. It's like I'm not a racist, but but there's a lot of closet people who just don't want to see a black superhero in film. You might know who X-23 is. I guarantee you, your baby sister who doesn't know who half of these people doesn't know who that is, and so on and so forth. And it's weird to me, like how much people rely on anecdotal experience to sort of inform everything, rather than the person listing off statistics right to their face.
Right. Well, a lot of it has to do the feel good factor, as I like to call it. Like, I don't care how you feel.
Pretty much. It's like but yeah, so that was a fun conversation to have. I mean, I also have to apply it to myself too, because I'm like, I don't know why people don't want to read this comic book, and it's like, yeah, because you love it. Of course, you're going to shill it and make excuses for why people don't want to read your digital comic, that they're not sure exactly what to buy to get the actual comic.
Right.
It also didn't help that I didn't have a price sheet, because like not just like price listings on the individual products, but an actual price sheet that people can just browse and say, oh, that's what this all is. Like I just need to make a template and print it out and then have it as a standing thing. So meanwhile, I don't want to like lock yeah, but like I don't want to lock Jolt Jaguar out of the conversation. So Jolt writes, one of the reasons why I got off fan art. I've always wanted to animate Spider-Man for quite a while, but I'm so finicky on copyright that I don't want to risk it. Well, the cool thing, Jolt, is that the limitations on being a independent animator means that you'll almost never make you'll never make anything so intensive that you would need to worry about copyright. Like, as an animator, good luck getting more than a minute out in 2 months. I mean, if you're working by yourself. If you're working with a team, obviously you can do more in a shorter time span. But good luck getting all those people together, managing them, etc., etc., etc. It goes back to what we were saying about how most people will never be big enough to catch Marvel's attention. The amount of work that you have to put in to be worth Marvel's attention as a competitor is such that you would never get to a point. You would never get to a point where you would be a threat. At least not by yourself. You would need a team, and you would need to have worked on a Spider-Man movie that somehow stayed under wraps and kept all its crew members for years. It's just not going to be a thing, even if you did a fan thing. And if you did a fan thing, even if you did it one worth its salt, it would not. You wouldn't be able to make something worth its salt that Marvel would cease and desist on. Like, I mean, you're skilled enough that you could, but you would never have the time. Yes?
Can I play a video game by myself?
Yes! You can.
Because I was wondering if you were busy.
I am busy. However, what we can do is give it to Mommy, and Mommy will set it up for you, okay?
Mommy doesn't know how to set up.
I'm busy right now. I can't set it up for you.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, Mommy can figure out the menus for you, okay?
Okay.
Just watch her while you do it, okay? And ask her nicely.
Mommy, can you get this video game?
This is gonna be fun.
So adorable. And yeah, it is gonna be fun.
Well, because my sister doesn't want her to get addicted yet, and my thing is just like you need to start learning this technology now because she's going to find it somewhere.
And she's gonna run off with it.
Well, it's a Nintendo Switch, so somebody dropped it out of a plane and it still landed and it was safe.
Nice.
My thing was trying to get her, because what she would do is like she would be afraid of playing by herself. So she wouldn't play. She would try. So I was like, hey, I'll set it up so you can play it by yourself. But then she was like, I don't want to do it. I want to do it with you. And part of me suspected that she wanted to do it with somebody who would let her win.
Right.
Because she's smart. Like she knows that if I'm not there for her, she's going to get thrashed.
Right.
But at the same time, I can still get her to set up time trials, and then she can race around on a track by herself. She won't have access to items or anything, but she doesn't need them either.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I can set that up for you. But she didn't want to, and so now she kind of does. Mostly because her mother's busy doing homework. And so, and I'm here in the studio. So I can't stop doing this just to play with her. And nor would I actually do that even if I could do a video stream of a Nintendo Switch, because she's 4 and people on the internet are weird. So I don't want I mean, it would be cool to like if it was like kids her age were watching her play. But that's not what would happen. So, and yeah.
Nick says hi.
Oh.
Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Chat with him on Facebook. Tell Con I said hi. Do it now.
And let's make that a guide layer. And actually, let's turn that off. So that's all smooth and shit. I shouldn't have said shit, but I don't care.
Too late. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so actually let's turn that off and make that a guide layer instead. And make the rough layer. Because I really should do is I should put these on there in the spot where they need to be. Because these run cycles are the last thing I have to do for this strip, and then I can move on to the strip that was supposed to be due today. And the cool thing is that I was kind of worried that like I won't have next strip ready, but I should be fine because I have I have more time.
Right.
Like I can do that tomorrow.
I picked up my vehicle, my top.
Mommy has to do that for you, kiddo. I'm busy.
I don't know how to start it with my mommy because I just picked up the.
Come here. So you picked your princess, you picked your car, and you picked your balloon, right?
Wheels and top.
Yes. All right, so we're gonna go to Start company. No. Which one is this? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Cause like I was worried that she picked 150cc, and I was like, that's not for kids. All right. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, that poor sweet naive child. So yeah, I forgot what we were talking about.
Internet stuff.
So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind it, but I also know that the internet is not a very nice space. So not really a great idea to be putting a 4-year-old in front of the internet.
Right.
So yeah, so that's that. But in terms of playing catch up, so fun story. If you go to the crimsonfly.com right now, you'll see a sketch version of the comic that was supposed to go up today. And what's funny is that wasn't supposed to happen.
Oops.
Because last Monday I did a stream, and then I uploaded the sketch to the site, because I always like to have something in case I don't have anything. Because I was and so this week, and so on, like, come Wednesday, I'd kind of forgotten that I'd done that. So today I was gonna use the apology GIF and just write that and then say, hey guys, we have this triple update next week. So imagine my surprise this morning when I was like, the Crimson Fly updated. I'm like, what? Why did it update? And it updated because I had forgotten that I had set up a sketch version in case I didn't get to do the clean version by today.
Ding, you were prepared.
Yeah, but I didn't want to be. I shouldn't have been. So.
Shouldn't have been.
Yeah, no, I should not have been. I should have just left it as I should have just left. Either way, so what's done is done. I wasn't gonna go back and then delete the post, because I mean I have stuff now. Why am I gonna go back and delete it?
Right.
So it was just funny to me that I was just like, why did I? Oh God, I'm so smart in my stupidity. I'm so stupid in my smartness.
I'm so stupid in my smartness.
Yep. Like, so smart, it wrapped back to stupid. Because I would have rather taken the hit and said, hey guys, yeah, it's not going to be available. So that way it would allow me to sort of like line up with my schedule. But I didn't do that. So it is what it is. So now I'm like kind of like double timing it, because if I had just been late, then I could finish this one and then spend the rest of the week working on the next one. But now I have to finish this one, spend the rest of the week double timing both of those. Like after I finish this, I'm gonna work on the sketch for the next one. Assuming I didn't lose it. And then what else was I gonna do? It's just a lot more work. And of course, there's not gonna be a Skip Draws a thing. There aren't gonna be any YouTube videos this week because Skip's gotta get caught up on everything. Although then again, it depends on where I am on Wednesday, because if I'm where I need to be on Wednesday, like this is finished and it's got sound and everything, then I can do the speed paints tomorrow. I can do the videos tomorrow, and then also have the JoJo's pick ready to go tomorrow as well. I mean on Friday as well.
Right.
And then on Monday I can clean up. I can color Dio. Sorry, Jiggy, I know you wanted to color them yourself.
It's okay. It's fine.
What is this? Okay, cool. So that's a smear. I finished JoJo's, get that cleaned up, and then have Dio, and then have that for next Friday's video. Whew. And then of course I have to actually at some point get those printed too. Because I can start putting together a convention portfolio. For illustration. Well, illustration and comic strips too. So that way people can have things that they can see what I do, as opposed to just like having as opposed to, oh hey, here's this booklet of a that this guy is telling me has really awesome artwork in it. So and then my niece needs help.
It's like you can hear it.
Yep. Well, my sister's studying, but it's my Switch, so I can't. So if she does need help, I really am the best person to go to. But I think my niece is gonna try and figure it out herself, because she knows that I'm busy, and she knows that her mother is busy. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna try and figure it out herself.
Okay. Well, that's good. Problem solver.
Well, the problem is that right now it's the menus I think are what's gonna trip her up right now. Because can't read yet. And I think that's the only thing really stopping her from really manipulating any of the technology in the house right now. Is just like I can't read. Because she knows how the microwave works, she just doesn't know which buttons to press.
Right.
And she knows, and even then she knows which numbers to press when you tell her. She just doesn't know how to hit. She just doesn't know what start. I mean, and she recognizes start, but she doesn't know that the sequence to do it. So you have to sort of remind her.
Right.
So there's that. But she's gonna be smart. So I just want to catch her up to that before, because I don't want it to be like with what happened with me and my sister, wherein like the technology age it sort of snuck up on my parents.
Oops.
So you have me like running around to sites I probably shouldn't be running around on, and putting stuff on the computer that I probably shouldn't be. There's a whole Facebook issue and cell phone issue, like even now, me and my family doesn't have the best like sort of etiquette for communicating with each other via cell phone.
Okay.
So like I just don't talk to people, period.
Okay.
Like I was supposed to do an Awesome Con write-up, but I just did not at some point.
I did not feel like it.
Well, I do feel like it, because I feel like I do need to do that write-up and just do the goods and the bads. Because I feel like sometimes, like way too often, people are overly positive without specifics.
Right.
But I also feel like sometimes people are super negative, but also without specifics.
Basically, they're not good critiquers.
Yeah. So I just want to kind of hit like the sort of things like, yay, I sold out. And I made back the table, but I didn't make back the electricity or the printing costs.
Right.
And that's going to continue to be a problem. Like, I printed out what I thought I needed to print out, but I was relying on antiquated, on personal biases rather than like a statistical data. Like, statistical data says that all I really need to print out are Volume 1 and Issue 1. Those are the only things I need to print out. And that for the USBs, I need to take the video and the PDFs off the USB drives, because those drive up the price. Because
right.
I had them for $15 and $45 for Volume 1. Issue right. 1 was $15 because it had the app, the PDF, and the video. Volume right. 1 was $45 because it had the app, the Volume 1 app, the Volume 1 PDF, and all the videos.
Right.
7. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, yeah, $45 is kind of a lot to spend on a flash drive. $30 is a little bit too, but at least you're getting what is the equivalent of a graphic novel, just that moves. And I just heard Drastic go wow, and I don't really know what that was in reference to.
The price tag.
Yeah, but they're animated, so.
I mean, you know why it's worth that much, and I know why it's worth that much, but how do you communicate to them that it's worth that much?
Yeah, and I don't think I really did. So I'm going to take the videos off. I'm going to take the videos off, I'm going to take the PDFs off, and then that'll bring the price down to $30. And also take the and about $30 for the volume, and then $10 for the first issue. And that way, if you were to for some reason buy all 4, if you bought the volume, you'd be like saving yourself $10. As opposed to, you know, paying $40 on the buying 4 USBs. The other thing to look into is getting those character USBs going too, because that way it puts a visual to what you're buying as well, as opposed to like just like, oh hey, here's a USB, what's on it? I don't know, just a sticker that says that this is important. Now, I have time now between this convention and whenever my next convention is, which is probably going to be Be More, their summer one. That'll be fun.
I've neglected to email Monica once again.
Well, she hasn't. That hasn't gone out yet. I'm speculating.
Oh, it hasn't gone out yet?
No.
Oh, yeah, right. Be More doesn't like the regular 3 years in advance other conventions do.
Yeah, no. Be More is basically the showrunner sends out an email to everybody who knows about it and then asks them to, you know, spread the word. Like, that's actually how I found out about it. Do you guys, Jiggy, do you know about a comic called Girls with Slingshots?
Yes, Chris. My husband reads it all the time. He actually has a poster from the author.
Does he know that she frequents Be More into comics on a regular basis?
That's where he bought it.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna say, like, she...
I was gonna say, it sounded familiar to me too, so Chris bought it. I remember him talking about it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Girls with Slingshots isn't actually up your alley drastic, so that's why I was like, maybe Jiggy's heard of it.
Yes.
What is up my alley exactly?
Huh?
What is up my alley?
Oh, lots of action, kind of brightly colored pastel stuff.
Right.
Hashtag, did you just assume my preferences?
Absolutely.
You did.
Absolutely.
But,
common practice with the people I know.
Well, wait, do you read?
Because I'm such a big wrestling fan, they assume that, like, oh, it's.
Well, do you read slice of life comics?
I don't read many comics, period.
That's kind of my point.
I'm looking to get into stuff. I don't have action comics of any kind.
So it becomes less did you assume my preferences and more did you accurately assume my preferences?
But you didn't, though.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, you don't read it.
I'm not. I haven't. Like, that doesn't mean I wouldn't.
But I was asking if you would do it. No, you're right that that's not fair to assume you wouldn't, but that doesn't change the fact that I was right that you don't.
Read slice of life comics.
It's not that I don't read slice of life comics. I don't really read comics at all. I'm looking to. Every time we go to a convention, I end up picking up something I like.
That doesn't change the fact that I was very much right about in asking the question, though.
It doesn't change the fact that it was an assumption.
I know, and I was still right. It's not an assumption if I'm right.
Oh God! Hashtag artist fight. Let's go.
Oh, Jiggy, go get the popcorn.
I'm already there. I'm already
You
there.
have to be kidding me.
Actually, this is more about.
But anyway, the point being that that's how I found out about Be More was because I found out that she was gonna be there. And then I was like, oh wait, I live near there. I can go there. And then that's how I ended up ending up at Be More into comics. So yeah, that was a thing. So that's how that usually works. It's a grassroots word of mouth.
Yeah.
But I think it's slowly picking up. So they're doing something right. Speaking of which, you guys gonna be at the drink and draw on Wednesday?
No, I have my brother coming over on Wednesday. Hopefully, all the stuff will be dead. Because he's getting into graphic design.
Ooh.
He's going back to school for it now.
Ooh. If only we.
I was gonna say he can actually draw because I've seen him do it, but he went to the police academy instead.
If only we knew somebody who was versed in graphic design, who could speak to that experience. Cough, cough.
If only.
you do a degree graphic designer around here. Son.
Like one of those things.
Yeah, let's go talk to Joel about that. Yeah.
Oh,
Do that.
like he just wants to do like all the things though. I still don't think he says graphic design, but I don't think he's narrowed it down. Cause he doesn't even know. Like I said, he's I call my bro super noob in this case because he let me say this before I do something dumb. He's like, I want to do all the things. I'm like, okay, like, do you want illustration? He goes, he's like, I want to do everything. I want to create stuff. I want to do design stuff. I'm like, okay.
Well, and of course he naturally thinks that he can do it all too.
No, he doesn't.
Really?
No, he has kind of low self-esteem because we share the same father, different mommies, but daddy was nah.
Because like usually most people, it's like you do realize you have to pick one, and they're like, well, maybe I can do all of them. You're probably not one of those people who can do all of them. How do you know that?
No,
because I've met lots of people like
you. He wants to do
you.
it all because he wants to try everything because he wasn't able to try everything. So he's just gonna try everything, and then I guess at some point find out what works best for him. And that's fine.
The graphic design.
No, there's a lot of money and work in it, and I told him that, and he was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah."
It's hard though.
Oh, it's hard and it's competitive.
Anybody who thinks it's not hard, look at the Crimson Fly logo and then look at the SkipperWing logo. You'd think they were in the same font, and there's a reason for that because I can't do anything else. Shut up.
It's okay.
Graphic design is hard.
Oh, yeah. Surprised how many people I know just don't know it but swear they know it.
So yeah, but it's weird because because like with students, and this is not talking about your brother, but it speaks to something I was talking about with one of my colleagues. There's this weird sort of like at least at the school that I teach at, there's this weird sort of like not infantilization, but sort of like what do you say things? What is it when you make something out to be easier than it actually is? I forget what the word.
You're misrepresenting it.
Underestimating the gravity of the situation.
Yeah, because I mean, Jurassic, you knew what that was like. Like when we were students. Like yeah, there was a lot of us who wanted to draw, but like there was a lot of students who. Yes.
Look how many coins I got, Uncle Colin.
Oh wow, you got 2 coins.
I know, but I got more in the other ones. I got a lot.
Oh well, good job. I also got a sneak piece of where she is. She's in 12th place.
It's okay. She's still related to you.
Well, I just realized I've been on my streaming break for like the last half an hour. So I wasn't actually doing the video for the thing. Did anybody like tell me that? Oh wait, no, I was. I just didn't. What's up?
I don't want the game anymore because I'm bored of it because then I can't watch my show anymore.
Okay, well thank you. So that was that for a half hour. But yeah, no, Jolt's right. It's like oversimplification. Like you people would come into like when we were students, me and Drastic, we had a lounge wherein people could work and do their could hang out while doing non-school stuff.
Right.
And so what people would do is they would fudge. Was I working on? Was it? I just.
Smash Brothers all day and night.
Okay, somebody needs to like keep an eye on the stream and remind me when I have like the break timer on the entire time. Cause I just spent there was a half hour where I was just on the break timer. That was no bueno.
No bueno.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Cause I just spent like a half hour on the break timer and like nobody called me on that, which is not anybody's fault. I should have been paying attention.
I was gonna say, dude.
But it would be nice.
It's a nice.
So like people would hang out in the lounge and they would not work. Alternately, people would go to class, but they would never take the class seriously. So like when the professor said, "Hey, you need to do this to do to do the work or get a job," they would sort of kind of blow the professor off.
That's stupid. Especially if your professor already works in the industry. That's even more stupid, to be quite honest.
So, What's become a problem at my school or in my class is that now that we have Cintiqs in our class labs, I'll be in the middle of a lecture, I'll peek over somebody's drawing, and then I'll make a snide reference to somebody who's drawing. So I'll be like, yeah, and then blah 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 blah, and then that person who's drawing in the middle of my lecture who should really be turning off their screen, and they'll just rush to turn the screen off. And then like 15 minutes later they'll be back on it.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
And then when it comes time for asking, it's like, if you'd been paying attention during the lecture, you would have known about this. But they weren't, so yeah. And at SCAD there wasn't a lot of that, mostly because of how I guess how isolated the school culture was from the rest of Savannah. Like Savannah was mostly the school. Not the town. Whereas the town is mostly, whereas in DC where I work, like our school is relegated to the top 4 floors of an office building.
Right.
And the school can afford to have the school can afford to basically say, hey, we're having this event downtown as part of the city. So students are more invested in it.
Right.
So one of those is what it is things. So yeah, that's fun. I know I'm seeing this video. There's somebody did this thing on Tumblr of Megas XLR versus the Shining Gundam. Let me copy the link. Copy link address. Yeah, check that out when you guys get the chance. It's in the chat.
All right.
Which is funny because that's something that could plausibly happen in canon for both of those characters. Where it's like I bet you couldn't beat him, and it's like, what do you mean like you don't think I could beat him? And it's like, I don't think you can. It's like I'm not getting into this fight with this person. No, dude, we should totally do it. Oh, this is so dumb. What, you think you can't take him? I can totally take him. And then they would get into a fight.
Fight.
I mean, then like Mega is, I mean, despite the setup, pretty much moves like an animated super robot anyway. So it's not like there wouldn't be precedent for the. It's not like it would be this thing where it's like, how is he moving? How is his robot moving like that? Like with like Gundams where they're basically just there's just basically Halo but with giant robots. So yeah, I thought that's kind of cool. That's the sort of fan art I can get behind. Oof. Please tell me I didn't just mirror this. Bop. No, I didn't mirror it. I actually did draw it out. Crap. The problem with front-facing run cycles is that you can, not so much you can, but you, now my hotkeys aren't working. Great. Flash has this weird thing where if you click off the window, the hotkeys stop working for some reason. But, yeah, like, I like, fan art where there's a grounded, like, thesis around the characters interacting. Like, I mean, sometimes it's just kind of weird and random, like Mario and Rabbids Kingdom battle.
Right.
And I think with that one, the absurdity is kind of the point. And also Mario's like been around long enough that Mario can kind of interact with just about everybody, and it would sort of work.
Okay.
But like I like things, and again, I like things with a thesis to them. Like Domon and Coop are totally the characters who would get into a fist fight over stupid reasons.
Of course they would.
But it's like Goku versus, like, if you try to make a serious fight video about Goku versus Saitama, my brain's gonna go, yeah, but now you're missing the joke. Like, it always ends in one punch. And because, like, Dragon Ball Z is not just about the fighting, but also about the humor, it would end in one punch. Like, granted, it would end in one punch. And if you really wanted your shonen fight sequence, it would end in one punch, and then Goku would get right back up and try again, and then would slowly turn into a fight, but would still end with one punch.
I like the Dragon Ball marks.
Mer? Oh yeah, you totally satisfy the Dragon Ball marks. It would basically be Goku gets knocked down in one punch in his regular form. Goku gets knocked down in one punch in his Super Saiyan form. And then there would be the ritual, there would be the blue Super Saiyan, and there would be this long epic punch, and then Goku would realize, wait, Saitama hasn't actually tried to hit me. And it would end in one punch again. But again, that's the joke. Like, hell, I would even venture to say that Saitama could kick Superman's ass. Why? Because that's the joke.
Well, the law of Saitama's universe is that he destroys everything in one punch, literally.
So I wouldn't honestly, I wouldn't want to see Superman. I mean, I would love to see, like, I'm the fan who's like, I'm a Superman fan, but I would still, like, for the sake of the joke, I would still have it again, same build up, where it progresses to a fight, but it still ends with the same way, where it's like, oh wait, Saitama hasn't punched anything yet. And odds are probably it would end with Saitama punching out something that Superman can't afford to punch out, and them sort of ending as friends. Or either that, or Saitama starting to get a bit of a fight out of Superman, even if he's still stronger. But then Superman decides to put the fight on hold to go save a cat in a tree or something. And then just as Superman's getting his butt kicked by like the Legion of Doom or something, Saitama jumps in and destroys him in one punch, and they have each other's respect. Like the idea, like Saitama would respect that Superman fights not just because he's the strongest, but because that's what he does.
He's genuinely a good guy, yeah. Yeah,
and then Superman would respect Saitama's strength and the fact that he didn't go all out on him just for the sake of a fight. Like that Saitama can put away the fight lust when it's necessary.
Right.
But you sort of need a thesis statement when you're gonna do these sort of things. Like I think everything sort of needs a thesis statement of some sort. And that's why a lot of things just kind of bug me, because it's like, well, what was your thesis when you wrote this? Like I'd have to go back and rewatch it, but that's kind of why I don't watch Game Theory, like MatPat's Game Theory, because absurdity for the sake of absurdity doesn't work for me. Right. Like you have to be making a larger point about it, like Louis C.K.'s abuse of his daughters, or continuous abuse of his daughters in his stand-up. Like, I mean, he's not actually abusing them. I just want to disclaimer that before that gets taken out of context. But the joke, I mean, like, yeah, he seems like a horrible parent, but the joke is that it's a metaphor for a lot of his jokes are metaphors for life and how we feel as adults.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, and it's weird because like sometimes I like having those sort of stupid discussions with people. Because like it forces you to think, but I feel like I have those way too often sometimes, and it's kind of frustrating. Where it's like, okay, now it's not so much that you're forcing me to think, and now I'm doing the thinking for you, and that's a problem. Like if somebody's like, well, wait, where's your proof about XYZ? I'm like, hey, I already proved it several times. Here's the article link citations. Why are you not doing the work to prove your thing? But people be people. I forget, like, it was a post last week where somebody explained that principle. Like, there's, like, the lemon on the orbiting Mars.
You mean the teacup?
Yes.
Orbiting the moon?
Yeah, what was the name of that principle?
I forgot. I call it the teacup principle. Teacup orbiting moon called. Well, the whole point of the teacup orbiting Russell's teapot. It's basically you need to prove. You can't prove a negative. You can only prove a positive.
So if you could like run through the joke like really quickly for the stream for those who haven't heard it.
Well, it's not a joke. I don't know the joke, but I know the analogy.
So basically, because I think I can reconstruct it from memory.
Yeah.
So basically, this dude runs up to this girl who's sitting and reading a book, and he says, "Hey, guess what? There's a teacup orbiting the moon," and she's like, "Prove it," or something like that, and he's like, "You can't prove that it's not there," and she's like, "Whoa, find the teacup first, and then we'll work back from there. You can't start with you can't start with I can't prove it. You prove yours first, and then we can go back from, and then I can go into disproving it. But we're already starting from the assumption that it doesn't exist. You have to prove that it exists first, and then we can go back to the debate."
And then he's like, I remember now, he's like, "Oh, okay, that's so," he says something like, "That makes so much perfect sense," and then she's like, "Well, it's funny, that's how science works."
Yeah.
So, yeah, but Russell's Teapot pretty much, the burden of proof, I forgot what it is. Bertrand Russell, to illustrate, the philosophic burden of proof lies upon a person making scientifically unfalsifiable claims rather than shifting the burden of disproof to others. So, basically, it's the whole prove to me that Bigfoot exists, and then, the person who's responding with, "Well, you can't prove he does not exist." It's like, no. You have to prove he exists first, and then, like you said, work back from there.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's fun. I forgot how we got on that one.
I don't know either.
But it's just like, with a lot of stuff on the internet and in real life where it's like, I need people to think a little bit harder. And it's not just in relation to the Crimson Fly selling or anything like that. It's just like, you need to try a little harder.
But that requires work and thinking.
We don't want to work, and we don't want to think anymore. I mean, granted, a lot of us can't really afford to because work is not so much work is what it is. But it's that sort of ooh, that's cool. And what did I just roll over?
Niece?
Yep, that's my niece screaming.
Did she win or lose?
Oh, she gave it back to me already. So
okay.
This isn't about that. I think it's about
okay.
I think it's bedtime.
Oh.
Alternately, she wants to go up. She doesn't want to go upstairs by herself. Oh wow, this is really smooth.
What are you drinking?
No, the animation I'm making.
Oh.
You'll see in a minute.
I was gonna say, I have references up right now because I'm drawing Evangeline, so I'm like, okay.
Oh, from Negima?
No, Wakfu.
Oh, right.
Wakfu. Right.
AKA everybody. Wait, how far are you in it?
We got done with season 2. We haven't watched the OVAs yet.
Okay, so it's also like, everybody's favorite mom. Depends on where you, because it's one thing for you. It depends on where you are for me to make that thing. Yeah, her character really took off with the fandom.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm drawing her season 2 look because I like it better. But at the same time, I'm like, why did I do this to myself?
What, you mean like how I put smoke effects in my animation?
Yeah.
That I hate myself for because smoke.
Yeah. Well, I'll send you the fudge. I had the arms down. Now I'm like, I'm trying to put the bow in the forefront, but foreshortening. God damn it. Okay.
Isn't that fun?
No.
Well, actually, it's fun for me, so I guess I'm not.
I know it's fun for you. Nah, it's fine. I'm getting okay. I'm okay at it. Obviously, getting slightly better, but at the same time, it's like bane of my existence.
I mean, it's one of those things where you have to just sort of like look at a bunch of references who are doing it and then go from there.
You're pretty much. Oh, I definitely have to erase that now.
But I actually do like that their relationship progressed to a point where it wasn't just, oh, we got together and we got married, and then you just assumed everything after that. It's like, no, we have to go through the issues of parenting.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing I liked about it was, why is it? Oh, I'm still on race. No, I'm still on race. How can I explain it? It's not. I know it doesn't say it, but the TV show mentions it's been years. The relationship didn't just like, oh, suddenly we're together. No, it's built, and throughout the adventures and stuff, you realize they've been together for years. It's not, a few month thing.
Which is always a problem. Like as much as I love Aang and Katara in Last Airbender, that last minute came out of nowhere for me.
I feel like that's a lot of American cartoons.
Oh yeah, but like for me, Last Airbender is the most prominent example in recent memory.
Yeah.
Either that, or they've been in a relationship forever. ¿Qué pasa? I feel like I missed something.
Yeah, me too. It's okay.
I love Ruby. I love Garnet as a character, but I mean, she does kind of fall into that trope of, wait, when did this happen?
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I will always appreciate Garnet forever, because it's better to have Garnet and be like years in the future. There's a trope that's kind of worrying, than to say like Garnet's problematic because we didn't see their relationship. It's like, shut up. We don't get gay space rocks every day. But like Aang and Katara, and even like Korra and Asami in the last episodes of both of their series, I'm like, whoa, when was that a thing?
Yeah, I heard people on either side of the fence about that one. I never watched the second season because I was like, nope, first one ruined it for me.
Well, and the thing is that you sort of need to have sort of a nuance in that conversation, which a lot of people just don't want to have.
Right.
Like
no, I didn't watch the second season because I was like, I heard people like mixed about. I'm like, oh, that means it's still not as good as the first season, because first Avatar, because the first Avatar series was amazing, and it's like the follow-up, from what I was hearing, didn't really do all that much because there was no major enemy. It was just a series of skirmish type deals going on.
Pretty much. I mean, like Toph tied it together in pretty well in season 4. But you could kind of tell that it was like they were making an omelet out of their broken eggs.
Right.
Where it's like, well, it's all about Korra learning harmony and learning how to deal with the various bad guys, and learning that she's never going to stop evil once and for all, the way that Aang got to. But I'm still like, that's BS, because those didn't really tie together as well thematically. Like, I felt like Korra was fighting a new personal growth problem every season.
And she fought Hydra in the last season.
Yeah, that she did. But in regards to her relationship with Asami, it was like, where it's like, whoa, they became really good friends, but nothing that really suggested romantic. And I guess for me, part of the problem is that Steven Universe came like about a week later, and we were told that one of the characters that we'd been following since the very beginning was a fusion. So basically, they were literally a walking relationship, and because all the gems are female, it was a walking gay relationship.
Right.
So suddenly, the hand holding at the end of Legend of Korra was like, well, wow, that's not quite as impressive as it first sounded. Especially since it's very easy to explain away as well, maybe it's not what you think it is. But I mean, also context does matter in this case too. Meanwhile, Pike Sid has joined the skip stream. Heyo, how you doing tonight, Sid? So yeah, because I mean, context matters. Wherein this is a show that may get taken off the air in certain countries if they are very explicit about what the relationship is. So you kind of have to respect that. Like, it's not fair. It sucks. But it is what it is. And maybe Steven Universe doesn't have that restriction. I don't know. But it does feel like it didn't feel like it was earned.
Yeah. Some people were happy just to, like, I don't want to say it's similar because like having I think the people were just shocked as well. Besides that, but it was they made it into a lesbian relationship in an American cartoon.
Which is weird because, like, I guess no, it still is a lesbian relationship even if both parties are bisexual.
Right. No, what I'm saying is it's in a
Yeah, in an mainstream American cartoon.
Mainstream American cartoon, which is not. that's like for a lot of. Not now, obviously we don't care. We didn't care at the time, but for some networks and whatever, it's like, you get Million Moms marching out.
Well, I think we still unfortunately do care. Like the Loud House got a lot of praise last year because one of the side characters' dads, the side character best friend character, or rather the black best friend's dads were gay.
Right.
But at the same time, it's the side characters. Not like somebody important was. But then again, I haven't also watched The Loud House in a long time, so for all I know, it's gotten even better since then.
But no, I mean, and the thing is, like I said, going back, like I said, trying to tie in Avatar with that, it's Avatar 2's relationship at the end. Besides being so sudden, which I didn't like I hate when it's sudden like that. I didn't mind that it was a lesbian relationship, but that it was just sudden, and it's like I feel like it's a cheap throw-in. Like, okay, here.
Well, and that was
sort of when they casted Wonder. Like, I finally saw the Wonder Woman movie this past weekend, and it was really good. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
My only grief is with the final fight scene, but it's like when they were casting Wonder Woman, it's like, see, we got a strong female because from what I read about Gal Gadot, like, she served in the Israeli army and not in like some weak little battalion. She was like in one of the stronger battalions or stronger groups. Mm-hmm. So I get it, but at the same time, it's like, no, you mostly casted her because she was pretty, and my biggest issue was she's 5'10" and she's not built like an Amazon. As we keep breaking, she's not built like an Amazon. I don't care what anybody says.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, stop half-assing. Like, that's the thing that got me, is like, stop half-assing casting and doing things just for the sake of doing things. Like, okay, you made Korra go into a lesbian relationship at the end, so she's bi, but it's like, way to throw that in there. I don't know if you for the sake of throwing that in there or what. So,
well, and this is where I come in with audiences need to be smarter, because just like how they're in political circles, they're saying you get the president that you pick. We get the TV that we pay for.
Right.
Like, if people make clear that they want more and they watch those things consistently, they're going to flip around. But that's yeah, no, my niece is having a temper tantrum.
She does not want to go to bed.
It might be more than that too, because I know for her, it's a lot of it is just like, because her mother is busy working on her homework. There's not as much attention for her as there needs to be.
Right.
And normally that's something that could be circumvented with Uncle Colin doing
Uncle Colin things.
Yeah, but Uncle Colin is not currently streaming on Twitch and cannot be the babysitter. So,
come on.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we are with most media. I mean, right. It's always going to be this sort of like pseudo problematic thing.
Right.
Like, they're really, like, in Luke Cage, I love Luke Cage.
Uh-huh.
But it is kind of weird that you need an all-black production crew to make something for black people. But, on the flip side to that...
Right.
It's like, when have we ever gotten the shot if it's not... like, oh, only black people can make stuff for black people. And we're not... But on the flip side of that, you're never going to give us anything if it's not just for black people.
Right. Exactly.
Like, I was like, I mean, I love the most recent run of Iron Man and of Heroes for Hire, but as far as last I checked, Sanford Green, the artist, is a person of color, and David Walker is definitely a person of color because I'm connected to him on Facebook for some reason. Ms. Marvel, you need Pakistani Americans to write that. But you don't see them writing. You don't see David Walker writing for anything else. Like, before Iron Man and Iron Fist and Power Man, he was doing Cyborg for DC, And then before Heroes for Hire ended its run, he was doing Nighthawk, who is basically Black Batman versus police brutality.
Okay.
So it's one thing to let us have something. It's another thing to only let us have the one thing. Like it's gotten.
You're also talking about in context too. Like, we always keep having these conversations, but it needs to be said over and over. Why have, like, yeah, we only get the one thing, but then, you know, the other audience, the other comic audience, or the main comic audience has their representation for decades.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
and
like,
even if it's failing, it gets to try again whenever it wants.
Exactly. There's more chances for it, yeah.
Like there was an article that was written. I think I shared it. Basically, like what the failing upward career of Colin Trevorrow says about like the chances for everybody else in film.
Mm-hmm.
Like love or hate Colin Trevorrow's works, but he's average at best and like painfully mediocre at worst.
Right.
Like nothing he's done without that has on its own merits been like, yeah, this is amazing. Like Jurassic World made bank off of the Jurassic World name, not off of, you know, being amazing.
Right.
And there was something else that there's a few other things that he's done where it's like, yeah, and now he's helming Star Wars after Rian Johnson. Or same thing with like Mark Webb getting Amazing Spider-Man after 500 Days of Summer.
Right.
I mean, I forget what exactly Patty Johnson had to do to get Wonder Woman, but it was like she had to become a well-known name beforehand. So.
Right.
It is what it is, because that sort of talk kind of depresses you if you talk about it for too much. So meanwhile,
it's all good.
Meanwhile, Hi, amen to that. So meanwhile, last week at E3, apparently you can be
Ooh, yay! Saw all the things at E3.
Yeah, apparently you can be a dinosaur in Mario Odyssey. Because basically Mario throws his cap at anything, and he basically he gets to take control of that thing.
Okay.
Like he becomes that thing. So you have this is where I say you kind of have to go out and look for the trailer yourself, because it's wide enough. It's wide enough out there.
Okay.
That it wouldn't be a hard find. But like the trailer basically begins with this T-Rex that just stomps on screen, and then we find out that it's got Mario's cap, and like, why has it got Mario's cap on? The cap pops its eyes, and then Mario pops out of the T-Rex. And it turns out that Mario can take control of anything he can toss his cap at.
Oh my god.
I mean, not everything, because like there are limits, but
still.
Like at one point, he takes control of a signpost. He takes control of a Goomba. He even takes control of a human dude. Like, you know that New York City ripoff that they have?
Right.
New Donk City. Like he actually he throws his cap at a blonde dude, and suddenly this blonde dude is Mario, or has been possessed by Mario.
Okay.
So yeah, that's their big thing. Also, they're expanding the world. So like you remember how in Super Mario World, like there were world borders, and with the implication being that if you jumped off of those world borders, you would just straight up die.
Right.
So yeah, in the demo, like one of them jumps off of the world border, and then there's a world underneath the main world.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're going big. I think basically what Breath of the what Breath of the Wild's exploration was to to not like open world role playing games. Mario World will be to platformers is what they're going for.
Okay.
And let's see, Marceline. Yeah, there we go. So that was fun. Also, Pokken Tournament is coming to the Switch, and they announced a mainline Pokemon game for the Switch. So nothing like, apparently not a spin-off. They didn't say what it was. They just said that it was coming. Okay. And then they announced 2 Metroid games.
Right. I heard about, was it? I forgot which Metroid it was. Whatever the bigger one was.
Well, I was gonna lead into that. So the first one they announced was Metroid: The Return of Samus. So it's gonna be a remake of Metroid 2 for the Game Boy, but for the 3DS, which I think is kind of like thematically cool. Like Samus gets a second shot at life gets a 3D remake on the console. I mean the relative console that she got, that the system, the original version already showed up on.
Right.
And then they teased a logo.
Oh yeah.
For Metroid Prime 4. But that's all they teased. Like no developer, no nothing else, just that they're working on it. So, but the thing is that they didn't
wait please, we have something.
Which kind of has me a little worried because like Retro did such a good job with the Prime trilogy.
Right.
That if they're not coming back, well, okay, then what's going on? Meanwhile, Jolt mentions just hype for DBZ and Shadow of the Colossus, one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh my god, Shadow of the Colossus. My husband plays Shadow of the Colossus. He loved the game and he loves they're getting a remake. We went through the story cinema and I was like, this story is depressing. I don't care anymore.
I feel that, but that Colossus climb.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some of the cinematics from the PS2 game are amazing. I'm like, whoa.
That being said, I want them to be careful because I feel like when I was looking at some of the screenshot comparisons, I'm like, don't lose the fog effects. Learn from Silent Hill. These things are a lot more impressive if you just let the mystery lie rather than like putting them in all their detailed glory.
Right.
Speaking of which, does anybody know how The Last Guardian did financially?
Last Guardian, hold on.
Because I do wonder if this is in response to that to that coming out, and the question also being, is it because that one did so well, and they're trying to gauge the interest for more, or if it did poorly and they're trying to gauge if there still is interest for it?
Sales. In the UK, Last Guardian suffered lower than expected sales, debuting at number 7 as of May 6, 2017. It has sold 1.13 million copies worldwide. And it sold 1.13 million copies, and it was released in December of 2016. So 1 year, year and a half. That's
So not good. Good. I'm not a numbers person.
Well, I can't think, so I'm getting the calculator. Let's get the calculator.
Because I mean, I do think that them choosing to re-release Shadows of the Colossus is in response to that. I just don't know whether it's for good or for bad. Because I know
we'll say it's been 18 months since release. So you're talking about 62,780 copies a month. That's 62,780. And we'll say at the starting price of $60. I mean, you're talking 3.77 million a month.
The question is that good for games or not? Because I mean,
that's stupid. That is so stupid.
Is that stupid good or stupid bad? You're not helping.
Sorry, stupid good. At least I feel like that's stupid good.
Because I remember Square got into a lot of trouble for declaring the original Tomb Raider and some other games like failures, despite how much money they made.
What was the Tomb Raider reboot called? Not Rise of the Tomb Raider, just regular.
It was just called Tomb Raider.
Wait, they're making a Tomb Raider reboot in 2018?
Wait, what?
A movie.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, with
no,
Alicia
I put
Vikander.
a Tomb Raider reboot. Let me put Tomb Raider reboot game because apparently now there's a movie. So that came out in 2013. Yeah. So in 2013. Yeah. Let's go.
I mean,
down
basically,
to the
just
bottom.
if you just search Tomb Raider Square like money, it'll probably the news about it will probably be there. Or from that time period will probably be one of the first search results.
Yeah. Okay. So, what did I say? The Last Guardian made in a year and a half, 1.13 million or something.
I don't know.
Whatever. So by April 2015, Tomb Raider had reached 8.5 million, and it was released in March of 2013. So 25 months.
Mhm.
So 3 million. No, I'm sorry, 8 million. Let's not do that to myself today. What the hell? Oh, I hit the stupid thing. Clear. 8.5 million or 8,500,000 divided by 25 months. That's 340,000 copies a month?
Yay.
Worldwide, I might add. That's about 20.4 million a month. And
Wait, what did you say, drastic? Because I feel like that got lost.
What? I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought I heard you say. Oh, well, never. It doesn't matter. So anyway, so I mean,
So Tomb Raider came out in 2013, and in 25 months, it made approximately 20.5 million worldwide a month on average.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about Last Guardian in 6 months, less than that time, only has made, what do we say, 3.5 million or something?
Something to that effect.
Yeah, that's then not great compared to that. I don't know why they said Tomb Raider failed then. What the hell?
Cost of production, time spent.
True.
But it also like.
Oh, you mean like taking 10 years to make a game like Duke Nukem and then being like, oh crap.
But Jolt writes, by the way, I just doodled something for an indie game called Blasphemous, and I could really use a second opinion on the composition. Not right now, buddy. Because, you know, streaming and all that jazz. If you, maybe, like, hit me up on Facebook, and I'll check it out after the stream. No promises, but generally speaking, during the stream's not really the best time, because, drawing and all that jazz. Especially now that this stuff is being recorded.
And all that jazz.
But, you know, I'm going to choose to look on the bright side. I'm going to assume that Last Guardian did well, and that's why they're doing it, as opposed to... Because I'm going to look at it from the perspective that if Last Guardian didn't do well, then they wouldn't be remaking Shadows of the Colossus. They wouldn't try to force a second chance. Especially given how long it took to get to the first chance.
Right. I mean... I can't believe they're making a Tomb Raider movie for March of 2018. They're
already filming.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything for it. That's such crap.
You have to check on IO9. IO9 has an article, has set photos.
I know. I'm just saying that's such crap.
What, that you haven't seen anything about it, or that it's happening?
That it's a year out, less than a year out, and there's no like teaser trailers, no nothing.
Well, I blame Assassin's Creed and Warcraft and the Angry Birds for that. Because, like, remember how last year was, like, the year of video game movies that didn't do well? And I think only Angry Birds has a confirmed sequel. And I think Angry Birds is because it's an animation studio and it's just, like, they're just not, they're just, like, I think it was just one of those in-the-works things. I think also the kids market kind of saved it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the other thing that Jolt was talking about was Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Oh God.
It actually looks good. Like you know the guys who make Guilty Gear, right?
Yeah.
They're making that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And that's it for the animation for this one. It'll be on the stream in like a hot minute. You'll see.
All right. We shall see.
man, those cloud effects were not fun to try and figure out. And the teacher I knew who taught cloud effects was looking at this, he would probably punch me in the face.
Colin, what are you doing?
Well, no, because his effects animation is freaking amazing. Well, as befitting a Disney animator.
I was gonna say, hey, I'm a former Disney animator. That's like, yeah, I used to play in the NBA or the WNBA. Like, okay, so you're lead, got it.
Well, I'm also dumb enough to be like, yeah, I'm gonna eventually be in your league. So I better keep working on that now. So let's stop the work timer and put on the break timer for like 3 minutes. Let me go get a Coke. I'll be right back, guys.
Si, senor. This is so there's. I don't even know why I bother saving. I'm about to delete it.
Alright, and I'm back.
Alright.
Even though I really should be drinking any Coke. So yeah, so they unveiled Dragon Ball Fighter Z. And wow.
Wow.
To quote Jolt, it basically made made Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite obsolete.
Nice.
Because I'm sorry, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite looks like a hot mess. It does. I mean, like, it feels like they made it to sort of recoup their losses after the not the game itself wasn't a dumpster fire, but the release was a dumpster fire of Street Fighter V.
That Chun-Li face, it just looks bad, says Jaguar.
Well, and the thing is that I'm always reluctant to hate on official release stuff because more often than not, there's usually a reason for it.
Right.
Like it's but in this case, I can't really argue that. I mean, I can't, because it doesn't look good.
Right.
Strip template, copy that. Number 6 and strip number 94.
I mean, I don't even know.
But I mean,
I don't play the Street Fighter game, so I'm just like, whatever. It's another fighting game to me.
Well, and that's the thing is that apparently their fighting engine has made made incremental improvements to a point where it was made incremental improvements to the fight engine where it's smoother and easier to play than ever.
Okay.
But that doesn't change that there's more to games, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this because I'm usually on the other side of the fence of this. There's more to games than just having the solid gameplay. You have to you can't just be like, oh yeah, our engine's really good. Like if you're an open world game if you're an open world game, your engine can't just be really good. You have to have things to do within that world.
Right. Unless you're a game like Killing Floor, where you just kill zombies on a closed map all day, every day, non-stop.
Street Fighter V, that arcade was a mess. The costume.
I'm sorry, Jaguar's saying that the gameplay. He hears the gameplay's fine, but the roster needs work.
Oh, it's sausage fest from what the release is, data is.
Let me see this. I'll see Street Fighter E3. Roster. What's it called?
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I'm just taking a little bit longer of a break while I wait for these files to sort of to prep these together.
I don't want to pre-order. Screw you, hippies. Apparently leaked. Oh, it was leaked recently. When was this leak? This leak was yesterday. Okay.
I mean, it's a leak, so take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, it says Arthur, Chris Redfield, Chun-Li, Dante, Firebrand, Frank West, Hunter, perhaps from Monster Hunter, Jeddah, Mega Man 10, Mike Hager, Morgan Ansland, Nathan Spencer, Nemesis. Oh, that'd be nice.
Wait, did you really pronounce Mega Man X as Mega Man 10?
Yeah, I did. Sorry. Ryu, Sigma, DLC, Strider, Hiryu, and Zero. And then on the Marvel side, it's Black Panther, DLC, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Dormammu, Gamora, Ghost Rider, Hawkeye, Hulk, Iron Man, Nova, Rocket Raccoon, Spider-Man, Thanos, Thor, Ultron, Venom, and Winter Soldier. Wow. Marvel, one, two, there's 2 women on the Marvel roster.
I mean,
Nova, I think, is Nova a chick?
No, but it's a Marvel Cinematic Universe sausage fest, is what it is.
Okay, because I'm looking at the Capcom, and it's like, okay, Chun-Li. I don't know who Firebrand is.
Firebrand's not a chica.
I know. Like I say, that's the only name I recognize as being female on this list, too. Oh, Morgan. Nope, Morgan's always going to be on there. Yeah, that's it.
But, I mean, and I can see them maybe not having Felicia because they got in a little bit of hot water over Felicia.
Right.
But you still have Jill Valentine, you still have Claire Redfield.
I was gonna say. Like...
You have Ada Wong from Resident Evil. You've got Roll, you've got Palette, you've got Alouette, you've got
you got so many.
You've got Lair, Alia, Palette. Who's the chick that Zero keeps whining over in Mega Man X? I forget her name. Colonel and
Iris.
Thank you.
out of the void. Severe lack of X-Men and Fantastic Four on the Marvel side.
Nobody cares. I mean,
it's supposed to be the Marvel what? It's supposed to be the Marvel
Cinematic Universe. But here's the thing: there are 2 X-Men.
Challenging the fans on DLC again, and the combo system is as easy as square, 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 square. It's the game the fans deserve.
But here's the thing: there are 2 X-Men that anybody cares about: Wolverine and Storm. No one cares about Cyclops. Nobody cares about Jean Grey. Nobody cares about Gambit. Nobody cares about Spiral. Maybe Magneto. Okay, definitely Magneto. Fine, you've got 3 X-Men.
Most people I know give more of a damn about Gambit and Storm, which is kind of sad.
But
oh, I beg to differ. In Marvel, yes, they do. Jolt Jaguar.
Nah, you have the 4 gods, and then nah, they don't care about the other ones. Like maybe you get Dark Phoenix for the super boost in terms of gameplay, but when you go on the competitive scene, you see Wolverine, you see Magneto, and I mean the fact that we're struggling to name names as opposed to just like throwing the entire roster at each other. No, they don't. You don't miss the X-Men. You missed your 3 favorites.
I was gonna say.
And then on the Fantastic Four side, okay, yay, the Super Skrull. Woo! He's not even the Fantastic Four.
Start so much wars. I was gonna say I'm kind of happy about Assassin's Creed Origins, but that's just me.
Yep.
Yay! I don't know. Ubisoft is too far down my crap list for me to care.
Well, Assassin's Creed apparently they're trying to get the people back, and I'm like when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay. You actually got out of Western civilization and into another time period. That's interesting. Thank you.
Where the alt-right will still, let them pass for white.
Actually, wait, was it no?
No, they're Egyptian. They're Egyptian, but
the main character was black.
Oh, that's true.
The main character in the new Assassin's Creed is black. He's Egyptian and he's dark.
Snap. Well, I'm wrong.
He's dark. He's dark as hell. Why am I putting Egyptian? No.
Oh, Jolt writes Dr. Doom. We need Dr. Doom.
Where's the trailer? Where's the bloody trailer?
01.
No, I don't want sound. God, no.
Brick.
But it's weird because when we were talking about the roster, we got away from what really bugged me about Infinite. Is that Infinite feels like it's a reset on the goodwill that they wanted to get from Street Fighter V that they squandered by that beta as full game bullshit. Yeah, I said bullshit.
By that horse poopy.
Like it's very telling to me that I forget the release window between Street Fighter 4 and Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But I do know for a fact that it was not as short as the window between Street Fighter 5 and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Like, it was not that short. And sketch. Export file. No, work files. Thumbs. Save that as a TIFF. Save. Okay. Like, I mean, consider me hyper skeptical. Consider me, like, maybe overthinking these things a little bit too much. But it doesn't read to me that that they're doing this because they found a reason to make a Marvel vs. Capcom 4, like some sort of new gameplay evolution that's gonna shake the system. Like, I mean, hashtag Nintendo ball licker. But like whenever Nintendo makes a new game, it usually feels as though, hey, here's a concept we want to explore, and this new game will be the perfect vehicle to explore it. But with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and I feel like have I lost everybody?
No, you're fine. I'm just trying to find the
But it feels like with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, it's like quick, we need something to save our goodwill. And Street Fighter, and especially with the trailer for Dragon Ball Fighter Z, you can tell there's some love for Dragon Ball Fighter Z. You can tell there's some love for Dragon Ball at Arc System Works. There is some serious love for this game. Or love for this franchise. My thing that I'm worried about is how are you going to make all the fighters feel different? Because that's always been my problem with Dragon Ball Z, is that all the powers, because they all come from the same power source, with the whole chi system, or ki, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, the Gallic Gun is basically a purple Kamehameha. That's what it is. If Krillin wanted to, he could, and see, here's where I'm gonna be a dick. Jolt writes, where's Samanosuke, where's Captain Commando, where's Jin? I'm gonna ask you, who? Because you and I know who they are. Especially since Captain Commando was Captain Falcon before there was a Captain Falcon. So yes, I know who Captain Commando is. But you know the today's gamers have no idea who they are. And I mean a lot of that's because a lot of the older companies, they've so updated they've so expanded their production schedules and cycles and what have you, that you can't afford to take risks. It's like how Sega has basically become only Sonic, and maybe those other guys when we need a few more multiplayer characters. Like, I mean, Sega All-Stars Racing does not sell as well as Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. It just doesn't. Same thing with.
Sorry,
oh wait, Jetta's in the.
Myself.
Oh wow, Jetta's in the right. So well, there goes my plan. But yeah, like they're sort of consolidating all their stuff, and it's kind of sad actually. I mean, when was the last time we did get a Night Stalkers? Was the name of the franchise? I think it was. But they're playing it safe, is what they're doing. Like that's why it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's why it's the Capcom staples. Oh, there's Darkstalkers. I knew it wasn't Night Stalkers. It was Darkstalkers. Thanks, Jolt. That's the thing. There is a lot of untapped potential, but Capcom doesn't want to take the chance. And in today's industry, can they really afford to? With how much these games cost to make?
Not even just that. Capcom, until some of their franchises started, like, getting back on their feet again, like, they were in a rut for a while. I would be scared to take a chance, too, on anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not gonna lie, like I said, I've said it again. Ari's, the new Resident Evil, dude, so good. So good. So much better than 4, 5, and 6. Oh, yeah. It went, like I said, it went back to its roots. It's true survival horror. You're not one of the original characters who's been through this chicanery before, so you're not running scared. You're like, oh, you're not, like, it's a new character, and you're starting over, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. But other than that, there are 4, 5, and 6, that franchise, ugh. I mean, everyone's saying 4 is good. I'm like, yeah, 4 is good, but it's technically a third-person shooter / horror.
Well,
and
also
5 and 6 just straight up shooter.
Well, because 5 and 6 follow the model set by 4, you can't really, like, if you were to reboot, you'd have to disavow 4 because 4 is where all the problems started, even if they were.
Oh yeah, I mean, 4 like I agree, tipped that scale when they started going to, hey, let's make a third-person shooter but keep the horror aspect. I think because they were still teaming, because RE7 is first person, it's not third person, and I think that's what helped it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering now if they decided to do first person in RE4 versus third person would have been much better, because to me, survival horror, like, granted, survival horror back in the day, like RE1 and 2, it was terrifying because it was a fixed camera angle and you couldn't see anything and the controls were clunky, so you had to be like super good or you got your head lobbed off. So it was terrifying. And I think 4 still had some of the horror aspect, but yes, it introduced, you know, the I'm kind of a BA now. So, and I think if they made that first person, I think that would have helped it a lot more. And then I'm disavowing 5 and 6 outright because hubby and I played 5 and 6 and we just had fun, because to us it wasn't even horror anymore. It was like, oh, it's just another shooting game, whatever.
Where you shoot a ton of black people in the jungle.
Yeah.
And Sheva, who was cool until she got her alternate costumes.
Yeah.
Good
lord.
But
yeah, Jaguar, exactly. 4 is good, but 5 is not as good.
I
Exactly.
mean, hell, you even see it with Nintendo too, where like their new consoles have given them potential to create new IPs like ARMS and Splatoon. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, they play it very safe. I think they're only, like, the Switch was enough of a breath of fresh air, or breath of the wild. Ho ho. Crappy puns.
You're on that pun train today, man.
I am. But it was enough of a breath of fresh air that they were able to sort of expand all their new IPs. And even give some new, like, new blood to things like Metroid. But, like, last generation, it was a lot of safety.
Well, I'm trying to think of what happened last year in the environment. I mean, I want to say console wars, but it's not even console wars. The only consoles that are quote unquote fighting each other are really the PS4 and the Xbox. That's it. Nintendo does its own thing. PC Master Race all the way, and then it's like, whatever. So, I mean, I don't know why Nintendo just doesn't. It's not like they're gonna lose people because their quote-unquote base. They don't even have a base. They cater to literally everybody.
Yeah, the weird thing is that I'm not really comfortable with saying, like, Nintendo doesn't compete. Cause, I mean, well, I get that they don't make the same. I get that they don't make the same sort of games as their competition does.
Right.
I think it's very dangerous to write them off as not competing.
No, I'm not saying they're not competing, but the thing is, it's like,
they don't make the same product as everybody else.
Right. But I said before, their base is totally different because their base is everybody. Like, if I had an inkling, or if I had.
Wait, no, I didn't. Sorry, no, I'm looking at, because I grabbed the wrong thumbnail.
Oops. But, like, Nintendo just made everything for everybody, and they made it fun, and it's like, okay. And meanwhile, you have PS4 and Xbox who are doing the equivalent of like, you know, a dick measuring contest.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, okay. So, I mean, I'm not saying Nintendo's not competing, because they are competing in the same market as everybody else, but they're
doing their own thing.
Like I said, yeah, they're like that kid that's like, I'm gonna do my own thing, and then, you know, everyone joins that kid.
Yeah, because I remember, like, back in grad school, I didn't get into an argument because it was more of an overhearing thing. But it really bothered me when somebody's like, yeah, no, they're not competing because they're not going after the same audience. And I'm like, so then what was the PlayStation Move and the Xbox Kinect then?
Right. See, I didn't even bother with that because it's like, I don't even know why PlayStation and Xbox bothered. To be totally honest with you, I have no idea why they bothered. I'm like, you're not in that market.
Well, and I think that's an indicator of how badly they were getting stomped, though.
Yeah. Well, I think they were dried up because I forgot what was coming out that year because my memory's spotty. I think they were mostly doing. They had to have a series of flops or something for the console because they wouldn't have done that. Or they were also like they could have been just getting greedy and being like, oh, let's get on this train too and take away some of, you know, Nintendo's niche market, not niche market, whatever Nintendo, like all of Nintendo's market. It's like, no, you're not. That's not what you do. Your market base are people who play like every other game, not party games. Well,
it's an interesting conundrum that I think a lot of the commercial media is having right now. A lot of the big money is in the general audience. The niche has no power. Or it has no tooth. It's not that it doesn't have power. It doesn't have any tooth. And hold up a second, I need to set the timer again because now that I've got everything set up where I want it to be, I need to actually get to recording.
Oops.
Well, no, I mean I haven't started recording yet. It's just like whenever I import the thumbnail, I always leave that for later, and then that's how I can start the stream with doing that. But then today I started with doing something else, and then I never set this up because I didn't expect to have the time to do it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and also going back on topic, like, and then the Xbox. What is it? The Xbox X1?
The Xbox. Okay, Xbox One X. Because if it's an anagram or not anagram, but if you do the initials, like you just cut out, it's at the Xbox, which is dumb. I'm sorry, Sony. I mean Microsoft. I know what you're going for. It. I know you think it's clever in your mind, but it was dumb.
The name's dumb, and they should feel dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And like. And that's the other thing. I mean, I know a lot of people, and the thing is, I think Microsoft, in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, is putting themselves in a corner because the last Xbox I bought was an Xbox 360. And the only reason I bought an Xbox 360 was because the games at the time were actually good. And then Xbox One came out, and there was nothing I really wanted to play because everything coming out for the Xbox One was all like COD, Halo, that's it.
Well, and like even with the Xbox presentation this year, everybody did notice that like a lot of what they were trying to push was also available on PC.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it. Like one of my goals for next year will probably be to have you and hubby build my my next computer.
I'll build whatever you want.
And
but the thing is, you can't. Consoles, besides frame rate, consoles can't compete with PC. Besides frame rate, like there's power, there's a whole bunch of specs that go into it. It's like a console can only do so much. A PC, you can, you know, soup it up. You can have the equivalent of a Maserati, and it's like a console's still gonna be your little, you know, maybe a Jaguar, maybe.
Oh, you are preaching to the choir of the Church of PC Master Race.
I know.
The only reason I have a Switch is because I can play it on the bathroom whenever I want. Like, I mean, hell, like, I was at my table at AwesomeCon, and me and my table mates, we played Mario Kart for, like, 5 minutes.
I mean, Switch, when the Switch goes down in, like, price, or, you know, I'll go to my local pawn shop in about 2 years and probably find one, yeah, then I'll play Breath of the Wild. But until then, I can't justify a $200 price tag for something that they made. They have games coming out, but even the games they have coming out, I saw the lineup, I think, like last week, and I was like, no, I don't want to play any of these. The only thing I really want to play is Breath of the Wild. That's it.
Oh no, and that's perfectly fine for you as your particular preference.
Yeah.
But in terms of the general thing of what differentiates a console from a console from the PC And what differentiates the video game market from the handheld from the mobile phone market is the Switch has more power than a phone, but it has more portability than a laptop.
Right.
And that like right now the thing that's annoying about the Switch is that it's not catering to its full strength, if that makes sense.
Yeah, only thing I wanted, Jolt writes, the only thing I wanted from Xbox was Killer Instinct and Sunset Overdrive. See, I never played the first Sunset Overdrive. Is that the one where you, like, just run around and, like, you just cause mayhem? Like,
it's basically...
Oh, later, Jolt. Have fun.
Jolt's off to play Overwatch. So, yeah, we'll catch the next stream with Jolt. Sunset Overdrive was basically their tech demo killer app that they wanted. Basically, you could go around. It was sort of an open world, like it was basically Crackdown, but like Skater Punk rather than Police Military.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing the original Sunset Overdrive, and I was like, okay, this looks kind of fun. But that's it.
Well, and the thing is, I don't think it did that well at launch.
Yeah.
Like that's the weird thing with a lot of killer apps that they try and push on people. It's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the next big thing, and then like right when the system launches, you're like, wait, what happened to that thing that they were talking about?
Honestly, going back to like handheld, like I could see Nintendo dominating the market if and only but if they found a way to you know how someone made that Game Boy insert for your cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
Like they do something like that. Like like you could still insert the cartridge into the handheld part, but you put your phone into it and you still have the Switch controls. If that's making any sense whatsoever.
Sorta, but I also think
you know how the Switch, you can just plug it in, like you pop it in something and then you can play it?
Yeah.
Okay, now imagine having a casing with the Switch controller still being able to come off and with a port in the back for the game and stuff. Like you still have that. But there's like all you do is you put your phone in it, like an encasing, you put your phone in it, whatever. And because a lot of phones have that touchless charge nowadays, they also have touchless everything, like it senses when it's on something. Like have that, and then you can still play you play it on the phone.
But that's the weird thing is that, like, going by what Nintendo's saying about their particular sales data, apparently the Switch is making them a very pretty penny right now.
Oh, I know. I'm saying if they could go one step further, like, okay, instead of buying the Switch, you buy this, and here are all the games for it that you can play on it.
I mean, I don't know that they want to, because they don't want to compete with cell phones. I mean, they do, but they don't want to...
No, I'm not saying make a cell phone. It takes whatever cell phone you have already.
Yeah, but that's money that's not going to Nintendo.
Yeah. What do you mean it's not money going to Nintendo? They provide the whatchamacallit for it. They provide the apparatus for it and the games.
But it's not as much money as just selling their own system.
True.
Like, I mean, that's the reason. I think that's the reason why Nintendo has never gone third party with any of their franchises. It's like, yeah, I could make the money. I could make I could make some of the money, or I could make all the money. And nobody's really stopping me from making all the money anyway, so why would I bother?
Right. And also there's the idea of, well, phones vary in size and specs every year, so...
Pretty much, like, I actually don't really know what's gonna happen once I actually do get the Crimson Fly on a cell phone, like consistently on a cell phone.
Right.
Like, that was one of the big drawbacks to porting it, actually finishing out the
thingy.
I'm sorry, like, because, like, before what I'd had on the App Store was basically a folder that had all the files that were necessary. And then I learned how to actually compile them into an executable file. But there's no option for compressing it into a DMG file.
Right.
So I can't put it on a Mac, even if I wanted to. And I do very much want to. Hey, there was actually one person at the convention who bought a thumb drive, and I actually am going to email him the DMG flash player. So it's more convoluted, but at least he'll be able to. To play the game. I mean, play the thing.
Right.
But yeah, it's always weird with those killer apps where it's like I don't remember a recent what is it? Like Halo was the one for the original Xbox. I don't remember if Mario 64 was a launch title. I know Twilight Princess was not one. I mean, it was a launch title for the Wii U, but it was Wii Sports that really sold everything.
Right.
Like, Twilight Princess was kind of a footnote unless you're a Zelda fan. Oh, crap. Well, no, because I keep dropping this, because it's gonna be this cool thing where it's just their silhouettes in the shadow of the alleyway.
Right.
Because you know me and shadows.
Woohoo! But I totally just stopped trying to do the Evangeline piece. I actually just erased it. I was like, nope, this isn't happening tonight. I'm too hot and I can't think, and I can't problem solve right now for foreshortening. We'll try again tomorrow.
I feel that.
I was like,
but no, you know, for me, I think for me personally, this was like the most memorable E3 that I've in recent memory.
Right.
Like Microsoft and Sony killed it. Like I'm actually, you say 2018, I am going to have a PS4 by 2018 for Spider-Man.
I was gonna say, and the thing is, PS4 streams right to Twitch, unless they put a kibosh on it like Persona 5. But yeah,
I can't see. I can't.
Yeah. I was gonna say you'll be able, or you could do what I did. As long as you don't. Well, I would have to get a better CPU and graphics card just to deal with it. They have PlayStation has a thing where you install it on your computer, and it puts the game on your computer screen, and you're basically playing on your computer rather than the TV, even though you're still playing from the PS4, and you can still capture it via OBS. Was it PS4 Remote Play? There it is. That's what I'm thinking of.
I mean, that would be a long way in the future, but yeah, I would be down for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the only thing that's worrying me about Spider-Man is that there's a lot of QTEs in that trailer.
A lot of what?
QuickTime events.
Oh god.
But it's Insomniac, and when was the last time Insomniac sucked?
That is true. When I think QuickTime events, I think of who's that company? They do all the story stuff. Like they
Telltale?
did Telltale. I think of Telltale games. And it's like I understand Telltale, like they're good, their writing's good, everything's good. It's like I don't like QuickTime events. Like I want to go run around and do stuff.
Which is weird because I heard that like they're like Telltale is like it's sort of hit or miss with their properties.
Mhm.
Like yeah, Walking Dead was great.
Yeah.
Batman was all right. Game of Thrones was bad.
Ooh, I didn't hear that one. That's why it probably was bad. I didn't even hear about it.
Like you always hear about their good ones. You don't really hear about their bad ones, but they have them.
Right.
I think they average more towards average rather than being outright good.
Right. I mean, that's fine. But yeah, but Telltale, but just most of their games are QuickTime event based, and it's like no.
But where was I? Spider-Man looked good. Anthem, even though the chatter took me out of that one.
Oh god, no. Chris and I watched Anthem. We watched gameplay where somebody wasn't chatting over it. We watched like I guess they were Let's Playing it because I guess they were super YouTubers.
No, but that's what I mean. Is like they had a one where not where like somebody was doing like a commentary, but like there were people who were pretending to be online gamers, like the way that they did for The Division.
Wait, was it like it was the chick running around first, and then her friend he came on later in a?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the one we watched. Still though, I mean, if they're trying to recreate like what the experience kind of would be like, fine, I get it. But I think because I play Destiny, and the thing is, Anthem basically took Destiny and said, "Here, let's put some steroids on that joint."
Well, the reason why I'm worried is that if they're trying to recreate it, Aliens Colonial Marine tried to replicate the experience of being in that game, and so did The Division.
Right, but here's the thing: like watching the gameplay of Anthem, they're already doing stuff that I don't know what their PvP is or whatever, but the co-op definitely looks kind of polished. I like the not polished, but like there's stuff you can do. They're what they call, I guess, adaptive environment. So there's, I guess, there are events that are randomized.
Well, we don't. That's the thing. We don't know if that's pre-rendered. I mean, like what we saw wasn't pre-rendered. Like
yeah,
without
but
somebody.
Saying but when you say something's adaptive environment, you better be like that. To me, that means pretty much the events aren't scripted. I mean, there are events that are supposed to happen in there, but it's randomized. It's like how can I explain it? It's like a lottery. So like.
Oh no! I mean, I understand.
Like random.
Like I understand.
And that's fine.
Like I understand
but
that.
I like the whole. But the whole like flying, I can go into water, I can do this, I can choose to ignore stuff. Like it's just great. It just looks good.
Well, but the problem is that with knowing that it was pre-rendered, kind of like that it may have been pre-rendered, especially if they're willing to fake the voices. That's what takes me out of it because I'm like, okay, so the voices are fake. How do I know all of this stuff isn't just like convention? This is what it could look like. We're just not there yet. Because what saves it for me is that it's BioWare is doing it. Who's doing it? I forget who's doing it. But I know, yeah. Because I'm pretty sure it was BioWare.
It is Yes, it is BioWare. Because I was like, ooh, hello.
Because that's what's selling it for me is that BioWare has earned that. I mean, yeah. Yeah, like whatchamacallit, what's his face? Andromeda. Yeah, like,
what?
Andromeda aside,
Screw Andromeda.
like BioWare has a really good track record. So even if like I feel like it feels shady to be used pre-recorded voices, that doesn't change the fact that like they have a good track record. So I don't really have much to be worried about.
Yeah, I was gonna say BioWare, like, and like when Chris and I were like, man, who's doing it? And they said BioWare. I'm like, okay, well, I don't think BioWare has represented themselves too falsely, or like, they're pretty accurate in their representation. So I was like, okay, like I'm not gonna be like, oh crap. Now,
Exactly.
If you said it was
Ubisoft
off the top of your head, who?
Ubisoft.
Yeah, if it was Ubisoft or something, I'd be like, nah, this is bull. I'll wait for the game to come out.
Pretty much. But even then, like, the reason why I brought up Anthem wasn't to poo-poo it, it's just that it does look good.
Yeah. Oh my god. Chris is so excited. I'm like, no one's gonna see us for a year and a half.
And then there was a bunch of other stuff that I admittedly wasn't paying attention to because hashtag Nintendo Dick Rider. But, there was, like, Skull and Bones, the pirate game.
Okay.
Like, that looked good. And, I mean, again, hashtag Nintendo Dick Rider. But, like, Odyssey looks good. Sonic Forces looks like it won't suck.
I was gonna say, I saw the Sonic trailer. I was like, this isn't bad, but I'm wondering, because I haven't played way back in the day, so I know you probably definitely have some commentary on it.
Mania looks good.
Yeah.
Like, Mania is a 2D one, the one where, like, everything is, like, classic 2D.
Yeah.
Like, Mania looks good. Forces looks like it, at worst, at least, like, at its worst, it's not going to suck entirely. It probably will.
Right.
Mostly because, like, I haven't seen anything that's impressed me. I've seen a lot of things where I'm like, if you pull this off right, it's a good idea. Knowing you, will be lucky if they do. But Mania and Forces look alright. Mania looks good. Forces looks alright. There's the DLC for Breath of the Wild.
Right.
Kingdom, Kingdom Battle.
I thought you said Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm like, what? No.
Oh, no. Phoenix, until I get a release date, can go fuck itself.
I was like, it took them a decade and 18 fillers to, like, get to 3. I was like, I'm done.
Well, my problem is that, like, the week before E3, they released a new trailer. And my thought was, release it or get the fuck out. Like, I don't care about anything that you're trying to show me. I don't. Because it doesn't change the fact.
Not happening.
Yeah, it doesn't change the fact that I can't play it any sooner. Like, I'm not going to forget that it's happening. I'm just going to keep tapping my foot like Sonic style and be like, hey, okay, so when's it coming out? Oh, we're still working on it. Then get back under a rock and keep working on it.
Well, apparently FF7 just got pushed back to 2018. I was like, okay, now
Good.
I'm kind of nervous.
Good.
I'm nervous.
Like, put out some, like they're the guys who are doing Ni no Kuni, right? Or is that level 5?
No. Final Fantasy 7 remake?
No. Ni no Kuni is getting a sequel.
Oh, yeah. No, I heard about that, honey.
That's not how Finger works.
Revenant Kingdom. It is Nintendo DS, Studio Ghibli, and Level 5. Yeah.
Wait, like the Ni no Kuni sequel is gonna be on the 3DS? What?
I'm sorry. The first one. Oops. Hold on. Revenant Kingdom. Timeout. No, I was on the first game. I was like, hello.
Because I'm pretty sure it didn't.
Yeah, Level 5 and Bandai Namco.
Cool, but what's the sequel gonna be on? Because I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be on the 3DS. I'm pretty sure it didn't make enough money for that.
Family and logo PS4 definitely. Yeah, PS4. It's on the official game site. It's definitely gonna be on PS4. Let me see if they said anything about.
It's probably not gonna be on 3DS. I don't think it made enough money for that.
It's gonna be on PC, Microsoft Windows.
Well, I'm also saying because I can't draw this goddamn hand.
It's okay.
But like I don't mind them putting back Final Fantasy 7, because that just got announced, and then you got
announced last year because people in my office thought I was dying.
Like, I'm fine with it getting put off. I'm totally fine with that. But
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts, like, no, you need to get that out and stop stalling on. Not stop stalling because I don't know what they're doing. But it's not really boding well that they keep having this that it's like, oh yeah, well next year.
Oh. Previously Square Enix was working with external studio CyberConnect 2 to develop FF7 Remake, but now, and this is from May of this year, but now Square Enix will be making the game in-house.
Oh, Joy, it's gonna take even longer.
That's why they pushed it back.
I don't care. It's gonna take even longer now.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
like,
Hamaguchi, who I guess was directing it, he's taken over the development side.
I mean, for me, that's just kind of words.
Well,
I mean, I hate to intellectualize that, but...
I know, but apparently, according to them, because it was an external third party working on it, I guess it sounds like they said it wasn't efficient in terms of communication and getting stuff done. He said, the guy, Hamaguchi said, up until now, development has progressed by receiving external collaboration. But from here on out, with production and quality in mind, we're shifting to our in-house organization. This company decision was made wanting to control quality as well as keeping the schedule stable.
So who's the third party that they worked with for Final Fantasy 15 then?
I don't know.
I'm being facetious. The point.
I know the Kotaku article even does at the last sentence of the Kotaku article says, whatever the reason, see you in 2030 Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Like, I mean, I very much understand Shigeru Miyamoto's quote that a delayed game is good eventually, while a bad game is bad forever. I very much understand that, but you do need to strike while the iron is hot, and you do need to accept the flaws as they are. Because,
I mean,
here's the thing, like, Final Fantasy 15 would have been revolutionary a generation ago.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I liked it a lot. I was like, oh, good. There's Chocobo and Magic and stuffs again.
But
13, I didn't touch 13. F13. I hated 13. I saw the gameplay. I was like, no.
But it doesn't change the fact that, like, waiting, like, several generations gave Nintendo a chance to catch up with Breath of the Wild. Hashtag Nintendo Dick Riders.
Oh, God.
Hey, I know it. I'm not gonna do that.
Hashtag SkipperWing Nintendo fanboy. Anyway, no, I mean, like I said, I think some of the games, and also, like I said, I'm a super fan of Square. Obviously, I will not buy it if I don't like it. Like, I'm a super fan of the Assassin's Creed series. After 3, I said, F it, I'm not buying this crap anymore. Even on, like, as much as I love the series, y'all stupid after that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Amen to that.
Yeah, so I was like, I think Origins is gonna be a good, like, I don't want to say reboot, but, like, I think it's a good back to the drawing board for them. Just like RE7 was a good back to the drawing board for Capcom. Final Fantasy 15 was a good back to the drawing board. You know, we need to really get back to the fantasy part instead of the... Because one thing about 12 was a lot of fantasy, 13 was a lot of tech. And like I said, from what I understand, because I never played it, I didn't touch that thing with a 10-foot pole. Like, it was so linear, and, you know, it was the storyline was so bad, and it was like, you know what, no. So I think 15, yeah, unless you... Like you said, Nintendo got a chance to strike back, but I think 15 did well by itself to, like, get the fans, like, back in and... okay, you know, you're actually back to being a Final Fantasy again, and now
well, it depends on the fan, because everybody agrees that universally that the great bro trip of 2016
yeah,
was amazing. However, the plot clusterfuck that was like chapters 13 through 15, was it?
Oh, I'm not even. Yeah, I still haven't touched there yet because I'm taking my sweet time just riding chocobos.
Yeah, you're gonna probably want to put that off indefinitely because there was not a lot of good words to say about that.
Well, apparently they did update 13, chapters 13, like by itself. I heard about chapter 13, and I'm pretty sure like I knew why they did it because they built you to love these characters and how they work together. And now 13 was supposed to be, oh, now we're gonna drop you in an emotional pit. And from what I understand about Chapter 13, not only did they drop you in the emotional pit, they gave you no way out, there's no lifeline, and they put you up shit's creek without a paddle and said, here, have a nice day. Apparently they fixed all that. So when I get there, I'm playing it from new. I never played the old version.
Yeah, but you can't keep doing it the whole patch thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's something else that the industry is starting to learn. Mm-hmm. That you're not gonna, like, or at least I'm hoping that the fans are gonna teach them to not try and get away with.
Right.
I mean, cause one of the things that really cheesed me off about this year's E3 was that the point of, like, wasn't the whole selling goal of Marvel of Street Fighter V and Star Wars Battlefront that there would not be a Star Wars Battlefront 2 and a Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't play those games, so I wouldn't know.
But I mean, their big thing was, hey, guess what? We're gonna, like, yeah, these games currently aren't finished, but they're gonna patch them so that way, and then feed them continuous updates so that way we'll never have to release another version of these later on.
Right.
And then this year the big announcement from EA was, guess what? Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'm like, wait, that was the whole. You said that was the point of putting $60 on a beta, that you would update to alpha status, and then that you would never have to. And then that the rest of the game, your things would be through updates. That you would never have to do it. Now, granted, I didn't buy Battlefront because I was worried about that exact same thing. Go back to my Facebook post about it. If you're wondering why I was skeptical.
Right.
Or if you're wondering if I actually was skeptical or if I'm just saying I told you so after the fact when it's trendy. But, like, I was really frustrated because I was like, You gave me a game that wasn't done, and you're telling me that it's gonna be done later on.
Well, I think, and you're feeling cheated.
Mm-hmm. And like you want an example where that was done right? Smash Brothers. At launch, 51 characters. Yeah, 4 of them, maybe 3 to 4 of them were palette swaps, but it was still
Damn, 51, seriously?
Yeah. Like, I mean, and half of them were...
That's a lot.
Yeah, and half of them were unlockable, were unlockable, so it wasn't, like, a straight thing. Like, yeah, Dr. Mario didn't need to exist. Dark Pit didn't need to exist. Lucina didn't need to exist. I mean, they could have existed as costumes for Mario, Pit, and Marth. And I'm not sure if I'm saying... When I say 51, I'm not sure if I'm counting the Koopalings as alternate skins for Bowser Jr., even if the game does actually go out of its way to treat them as separate characters. Like, all the Koopalings have separate voices, and the announcer does call them out separately.
Right. I mean...
But then, on top of that, there were the Mii Fighter costumes. There was, Ryu, Bayonetta, Lucas, Mewtwo, Roy, what's his face? Not Robin, the other one. Not Rifflet, because that's also Robin. The dragon one. Corrin.
Okay.
That was all DLC. And then there was the stages that went with it, too. And the costumes, and the patches. But this was all on top of a $50 game that was finished. Like, the only reason to update to the other versions of the game was because, then you were locked out of the online if you didn't.
Right.
But, like, it was a finished game, as opposed to Hitman. Well, no, Hitman was finished, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, Jim. Do you watch Jimquisition at all?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I know he has a really good video, like basically breaking down, be like, this is why this is stupid. Like buying a game and then it's like, oh, it's not finished, and then he went into, I forgot what game it was. Like they totally were trying to just get people to pay money.
Because remember there was like Evolve fell down the bullshit tree, but that's not what that was about.
Yeah, I mean Evolve, like I was excited for Evolve. Like the concept at the time was like, oh cool, 5v1, but it's like or 4v1, but the one, like you're not fighting an AI, you're fighting another like human being.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think it makes it that much harder because it's like, oh crap. But at the same time, it's, you know, it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Then I forget, like there weren't enough maps or something. I forget what the complaint was. It was like not enough maps, not enough game different types or whatever, or not enough boss monsters to play as either.
Well, even to like a lot of the pre-order stuff was announced before the game was even launched.
Oh God.
Not launched, but before the game was even announced.
Oh, yes. And I think Jim Quisition went into that rant too. It probably was Evolve. Was it Evolve?
Yeah. But I mean, like that's different from what we were talking about beforehand.
What?
But like the idea
coming out with a finished game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I also blame Konami a little bit for this too, because Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes did not need to be. How much was that?
I don't know.
But it was like there was a big kerfuffle about Ground Zeroes being like as expensive as it was for what was essentially a glorified tech demo for the Fox engine. And then like once Metal Gear 5 came out, everybody kind of forgot about that because like Metal Gear Solid 5 did not live up to the hype.
No, as my friend bought it and he played it, and he was like, "This is eh." I mean,
in fact, I think one of us inside the chat is still having nightmares about it.
He hasn't spoken in a while, but yeah. Now I'm talking. Besides
game.
Yeah.
Besides his issue with it, my issue was when What's His Face came out. I was like, "Oh, it's Emo Mantis. Are you kidding me?"
I mean, I don't care about that. My problem is that not all games need to be open world.
No.
And Metal Gear Solid works.
That's funny that you say that, since everything at E3 was open world.
It was a lie. It wasn't even open.
Well, that's true too.
It's open world hallways. It looked open world, but it forced you down there. Fuck that.
He's right though. Like a lot of the game was basically go here and pick this up. But because there's only so many ways into a given thing. But anyway, getting off track. The point being that they sold this demo as a full-fledged game that you needed to buy to get the full experience, and then once the full game came out, I was like, yeah, that wasn't worth it. And like that entire like last year was basically like, guess what, Star Wars Battlefront. Wait, but you said it's not done yet. Yeah, but it'll be worth it once we finish everything, and we'll never have to do the.
No, stop.
And I have a sneaking feeling that like if I go back and look for the articles, or if I find somebody who's willing to defend it, they'll say it wasn't. They never promised that or some such. But
let me put it this way: if I'm paying $60 or something, that thing better be finished or polished enough that I can't tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I pay $60 and it looks like, you know, a demo reel, I'm gonna be a little angry.
Well, you'll pay for it. I'll just like watch your review of it and then say, yeah, I'm not buying that.
Yeah, I mean, going back to 15, they're also talking about fixing the ending, because I was like, yeah, you better fix the ending.
But
because it makes no sense. No, I don't know if you know the premise of 15 is that the bad guy pretty much is trying to wipe out your family tree, but the prophecy also says, oh yeah, in order for you to save the world, you gotta die. I'm like, what? So his goal is in line with this prophecy that you like. No, that is such crap storytelling and such like no.
But I mean, even with like even if they fix the story, like I don't know, I just don't like the way that Squeenix tells stories anymore. Like it's complicated for the sake of complication.
I totally agree with you on that. I am 100% in critique with you because, like, the beginning of the story, like 12 did it too.
Mm-hmm.
12 did it too, where it starts off with, it is a simple story of there is an empire trying to overrun somebody, but then it peters off into this, you know, convoluted spider web of what the hell.
Well, and I think, like, even at the end of 13, the world that that Lightning is supposed to wake up in, I think in the original draft of that was Noctis's world from or timeline from 15.
Agreed. I mean, when they announced 13 and 13 Versus, that was the whole point, but then they scrapped it.
Which is a good idea, unfortunately.
Oh no, I totally agree with that. Now that I saw what happened in 13, I was like, no. But it's like, I think Square Enix keeps trying to. They start with a simple idea in the beginning of the game, and then it's like they add on some interesting stuff, but then like Assassin's Creed 3 and on, it got out of control, and it's like, you guys need to just keep it simple: beginning, middle, climax, end.
Well, I mean, like, a lot of it is just like there's no long-term planning because you can't really plan these things out long-term. All you can do is just tell each complete story and hope that you can slowly tie them together.
Honestly, I think what they should have done with 15 in terms of storyline, first off, is the storyline about the Niflheim Empire going after everybody and using magic, like defeating Niflheim Empire should have been the main crux of the story, and it should have kept to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole story, the storyline with
the guy with
Arden, the red-haired dude. Yeah, the whole storyline with Arden, that should have been a DLC or an add-on or something. But at some point in the game, you start going after Arden, and you forget the Niflheim Empire is even there.
And I mean, that's a lot of Final Fantasy too.
I know. I mean, that's if anything, ever since I've started playing I love the games, I love the combat stuff. Like, yeah, it's pretty. I'm not gonna lie. But I've always had a problem when it started in one area in its storytelling, and then it veered off to like left field somewhere else, and it's like
because every villain is trying to be Sephiroth.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
I mean, like, even like you look at it in Kingdom Hearts, like, yeah, we have the old man Xehanort, but his other versions pretty much are Sephiroth with spikier hair.
Yeah.
Arden is red-haired Sephiroth who toys with the hero and fucks with his brain. And it's not so much like they're all like Sephiroth in that they all fit the character template. It's just that idea of this character who is the foil to the hero, and is obsessed with them in a way that's kind of creepy and like
right.
Stuff like, you even had that in 13 with Caius Ballad, like, fuck that guy.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, every villain is a foil to the hero. Okay, so like there are other ways to make villains.
That and like the villain needs a connection to the overall arc of the story, not just the hero's one moment.
Yeah, well, not only that, Arden only becomes relevant when you find out what he's doing there. Like, Niflheim was taking monsters and using them in Magitech experiments. Okay, that's the secondary part of the entire arching storyline. But then, like I said, you add Arden in, who he comes out of left field like, well, this dude's been here for the last 1,000 years giving Niflheim all the ideas. What? We're just getting that now?
Well, and the other thing that bugs me is that Kingsglaive. Kingsglaive, and to a lesser extent, Overwatch has this problem as well.
The movie? I saw some of the movie. I heard it was good.
It depends on who you're talking to.
Right. I mean, Kingsglaive, I heard, was supposed to take place. Well, like I said, I saw parts of it, so I know it's supposed to take place during chapters 1 through like 4 or something of the game, because it's about pretty much. Oh yeah, Niflheim just sacked Insomnia while you're out on the road.
Well, it's less that and more that this doesn't matter to what I'm doing here.
Right.
And we talked about this with regards to Overwatch, wherein, like, there's certain things you can't do in the game. Like, was it awkward to find out that Tracer was gay in the Christmas comic? Yeah. Would it have been even more awkward for her for them to pepper dialogue in there hinting that she was gay with people that she may or may not want to kill? Because I mean, yeah, do I find the Overwatch Tracer fan fictions and fan illustrations hot? Absolutely. If it was acknowledged in game, that's where I kind of get weirded out. Because then it takes me out of it even further, and I don't know if there's a perfect middle ground for that though. Because I do like the idea of cross-media projects, but I don't like them being as naked as they are as being extra money cash grabs or storytelling patches.
Right.
Because I think this is done.
Nice.
Let's
That's actually good timing because I'm about to pop off since I have to make sure hubby gets to bed early because he's now getting up at 4:30 to be at work by 6. But that means he's also home at 3 o'clock before I am.
Cool.
So.
Let me just like Alright, so yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much done. Cause oh wait, no, let me add the text and then it will be done. Well, no, I say that because like cause I mean I always have to make sure the text actually fits.
Right. God, yeah, it's also starting to get oppressively hot up here. I might have to go sleep downstairs again.
Feel that. So let me just put in some text and then
we be kosher.
So text. Cops didn't really care who brought down the factory. And my bro.
Drastic, how you doing, dude? You've been like nary a peep all night, except when we brought up that game that shall not be named.
You guys are doing a good enough job of talking.
You mean our ranting? That's usually what it is.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Although we've been told that we have really good chemistry, so there's that. Change that to white.
Yeah, you're both amazing.
Huh?
Well, let me tell it. You tell it.
And that's gotta go there. And his friends couldn't really help him. Trouble too. So yeah, the cool thing is that this is slowly starting to get to the end of this issue.
Woo.
Yep. I mean, it's weird because like nobody's really been complaining about the storytelling. Like people still share it, so which I appreciate. So I'm assuming that people still like it. But for me, it's like there's not a lot of action, so I'm like, oh, when are we going to get to the action?
So you're gonna do the text. Alright, I'm just gonna pop off here at this point.
Alright.
Hubby made him double check, because, like I said, I doused the downstairs this afternoon with a bunch of poison.
Well, so, for the YouTube crowd, because I'm gonna upload this after I'm done here. Who are you again?
I am Jiggy Art.
Cool, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook.com/JiggyArt. You can find me on Twitter at JiggyArt2204, and you can find me on Tumblr at JiggyArt2204. And side note, yeah, 220422 was my basketball number in high school and college, and 4 was my grandmother's basketball number in school.
Nice.
Yeah, so, but anywho, thanks for having me on.
Cool.
Got me on my funk a little bit, so I'll be doing some stuff tomorrow night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, have a good night, guys.
You too. Cool, and it's funny because I just finished putting the last thing in place. So, gonna export this, make it a new post for next week. Forget that I have that going, and then do that. All right, so I think I'm gonna call it a night too. Who are you on the other line, person that I apparently do not know? Cough, cough, wink, wink.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh. Facebook.com/DrasticCreative. Also on Instagram and Twitter, Drastic Creative. Holler at me, find me. I'm making Overwatch stickers. I've been doing this the whole time we've been here.
Also, you also have a Twitch channel, right?
Yeah, Drastic Action X.
Awesome.
Streaming on Wednesdays.
Cool.
Wednesdays.
Woo! And this has been your host, Colin SkipperWing Bird. The next stream will be Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll go until like whenever the heck it is that I get tired enough to just stop doing stuff. Also, check out the my website, my webcomic, The Crimson Fly, at www.thecrimsonfly.com. And I will see you guys in the next stream. Night, everybody!